So, hi friends, good morning. Yes, Arnab, good morning. So, as always, officially we'll start the class soon. But before that, any doubts, issues, or concerns from the previous classes? Any doubts in general about ethics, integrity, and aptitude? Did you go through the previous three sessions and when you revise it or try to know more information related to those topics? Any doubts that you have come across? Yes. Those who have joined, let's we try to recall what we discussed as a part of previous day's discussion. We have discussed the consequences of ethics at individual level. Try to recall some key points that happens when we follow ethics at individual level. What are the benefits that individuals get when we follow ethics in our life? Try to recall, suppose without seeing the material, without looking at material, can you recall any points? Try to recall the consequences of ethics. Try to recall the consequences of ethics at individual level. Try to recall some points. Sir, I am attending your live classes. Should I go through the pre-recorded lectures also? If you're attending all the classes, for now it is not required. You may not necessary to go through the pre-recorded classes as you are attending all the classes. If you missed some classes, then only you should go to the recorded classes. So those who joined, think about the consequences of ethics in the level of society. Try to recall some points. Good, good. Go ahead. Just in your mind, those thoughts related to society should go on. Once you're done with, think of some concepts associated with public administration, the consequences of ethics in the public administration. If ethics is followed, what are the consequences? If you can comment here, type here, that's fine. Otherwise, just try to recall. Now, let's we try to recall the dimensions of ethics. Try to recall the names of 5 dimensions, just the names. Just hope you're getting the 5 names of it. If then, try to think of utilitarianism. Normally, what is expected to do, like for example, we discussed utilitarianism. You have to go home and see in which are the other contexts we are using utilitarianism, where it is okay to use, when we should not use it, when it become dangerous to use. So you try to create some examples that we have not discussed. So utilitarianism, try to recall points. So try to recall virtue approach that we have discussed. Recall the justice or fairness approach. Recall common good approach. Recall some points, concepts associated with this. Then think of rights approach. So do you able to recall, and any doubts? Recall the discussion that we had about a statement from Tirukural that talks about falsehood takes the place of truth when it results in unblemished common good. The statement related to the Tirukural, that is, falsehood takes the place of truth when it results in unblemished common good. Try to know the meaning, how we are able to create the answer. So after the discussion, it is expected that you go home and try to write, actually, if you are already at home also. So after the class, spend some time and try to answer 150 words. Try to create an answer of 150 words, send it to us. Then crisis of ethical values. We discussed one question related to the crisis of ethical values in the modern times is traced to the narrow perception of good life. Try to recall this. So one students want to know, sir, please explain the rights approach. I'll explain. So there are 5 dimensions are there. Utilitarianism says that we need to take a decision that lead to the maximum happiness to the maximum number of people. Virtue approach says that we need to take the decision that add good values to our personality. Justice approach or the fairness approach talks about equal should be treated equally. Those who are in more need eligible for more benefits. Those who put more effort, they're eligible for more benefits, and the deservedness as a criteria. We discussed that under the part as a part of common good approach. We understood that our welfare depends upon some common condition and the institutions that we have created for the welfare of all of us. When we take the decision, we have to respect them and protect them. The rights approach is an important approach that will help us to have a better interpersonal relationships. If you want to have, we should know that generally the people have the ability to choose how they want to live their life. It may be somebody is our brother, sister, friend, stranger, or our colleague, or anybody. They have the ability to choose how they want to live. There is no only one path that is appropriate. You may follow Hinduism, Islam, Christianity. Somebody can become doctor, lawyer, actually. Somebody may earn crores of rupees. Somebody want to just live simple life. Just maybe sufficient to earn 3 times, sufficient to earn a money that is required to have 3 times food and a sleep. Somebody may marry, somebody may don't marry. Somebody have kids, somebody don't have kids. Everything is fine. As long as we are within the limits of the law of the land, we have the right to choose freely how we want to live our life, how to utilize our body, mind, time, and other resources that we have in according to our wish. Now, how I have the right to do this, the other person, like just for example, Ramesh also has a right. and we should respect that person and how he or she is using their ability, their time, money, and other resources. In the case of Ramesh, how he is using, we should not criticize them, we should not condemn them. It is our duty, we have a responsibility to respect their rights. So it all telling that when we take decision which is right decision, now this person is wearing this kind of dress, why should I interfere? These persons are living relationship, that's okay, their choice. Whether if something wrong or right, that they have taken a decision. Even with marriage there are positive negative consequences. With living relationship there is a positive negative consequences. Somebody want to go to cinema industry, there is a positive negative, and let them do whatever they want to. Why do we have to interfere in their life? That is known as a rights approach. Got it, Chalu? Yes. So these are all the discussion that we had as a part of yesterday's discussion. Any doubts before we go ahead today? Okay, let's we go ahead. So we are in the day 4 and the module 4, and we have started our discussion about ethics in private and public relationships. So we discussed that the relationships in which the love and emotions are very important are known as private relationship. Usually our relationship with our friends and family, do we have private relationships? The relationships in which the rules and regulations are important, where the rules and regulations play a crucial role, is known as public relationship. Our relationship in the organization that we are working and the society in which we live, we have the public relationship. We have understood some nature of private relationship and the public relationships. Normally, in which relation we have more conflicts? According to you, do we have more conflicts and issues either in private relationship or in the public relationships? If it is any of this, and in which one, and why do we have that relationship? So most of you are agreeing that actually here among the different comments that we have got, most of you are telling that we have conflicts in private. If it is private, why do you think so? If it is public, why do you think so? In which relationship we get more conflicts, fights, issues? Shalu feels that we have these issues in private because of the love and emotion. Normally, when we love the person, we are love that person, right? So normally, logically, one logic should tell that it should have a less conflicts. Sadhana, if you believe it is in public, why do you think? And what makes you think that actually public relationships have more conflicts? Chituri believes that both have conflicts, but somehow we have to manage it. Yes, Arnab, we agree. Privates are based on the love and emotion, and more expectations are the reason for the conflicts. It's all about money. Think about it. Okay. So in generally, yes, there are conflicts are there in both the relation, but we see that there are more conflicts comparatively in private relationships. The private relationship has conflicts not because it has more expectations. Even the public relationship, when you work in an organization, your boss may have a lot of expectation, but there is a clear expectations are there. But in a private relationship, there is a lack of clarity, the lack of clarity in the expectations, lack of clarity in the expectation. Many times these expectations are not told. Analysis. Now what happens in a public relationship, there are expectation but which is clearly mentioned. Suppose when we joined into organization will clearly tell me what they're expecting from me, what I'm supposed to do, what I'm not supposed to do, and everything is very clear. And by fulfilling those expectation, what I will get from the organization is also very clear. So those expectations are clear. Now in a husband wife relation, though we cannot write what are all the things I will do and what are all the things that you will do in a written, many times it go on with hidden expectations. Parents and children, they will note down, okay, at the time of your for example, first year birthday anniversary, we spent so much of money, and that is why there is so much of expectation from you. And at the age of second year, okay, this the third year, we have brought one cake actually, and this is the cost of that. We don't note down and will not tell, see, you have born into our family, or you are born as our son or daughter, and these are our clear expectation, and this is why you have to do. We spend so much of money and you have to do this. No, it will not go according to that. Can we make it? No, that is also not possible. At least wherever possible and feasible, we can clear out our expectation. Like suppose sometimes it is said that even by telling the 1,000 lies, finally one marriage should happen. ಸಾವಿರ ಸುಳ್ಳಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಮದುವೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. That is wrong. When we are going to live with a person, actually, because we are living, even if you think logically, suppose we are meeting a person only one day, we may tell all the lies, possibly, but ethically we should not tell anywhere. But suppose even if you think logically, if we are meeting just for one day, we may tell that this lies and everything. But here you are going to live with that person forever. How can you think of lying? So we should tell everything truth, and we should also tell, this is what I am actually, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, this is why I am marrying. Let that other person decide whether that person wants to marry us or not. So wherever possible and feasible, clearly telling a expectation, why are we doing, what are we doing, may decrease the conflicts. Think about it. Let's we come back to this. We have to choose the best thing in order to lose good one. Okay. We have discussed about what is ethics in private relationship. We have discussed some points related to the husband and wife. Has anybody gone through the documentary that we have suggested, like Martyrs of Marriage? Did you go through, and what is your observation after watching that documentary? Whoever has watched actually, at least that 1.5 minutes trailer and some half an hour of documentary. Tell me honestly, how many of you have watched it? There are few who have done. Okay, super. What about others? So Chituri, Shivaji and others, please consider watching. See, sometimes we don't have time, but sometimes we thought that, we'll do sometime. A work that can be done at any time is done at no time. So we think that, this can be done at any time. Then we don't get a time to do that. So that's why you have to make a task. For example, you are buying Hindu newspaper or the Indian Express. You have to keep a time. That expiry is 12 p.m. before today, or today 12 midnight. Before that, I will study. After that, tomorrow I don't study the newspaper, today's newspaper. So suppose one day I may not read at all. Second day I may not read, but I feel guilty. I am just buying. I am not reading it. So that's why you will spend at least 20 minutes to read the newspaper. If you are not spending 20 minutes to read the newspaper, then there is no logic in buying the newspaper. If I suppose bought a December month Yojana, if I am not able to go through at least once that magazine, Yojana magazine, then I don't have the moral authority to buy the January month Yojana magazine. Okay, so no problem. There are few have done. And what about Bhaba Amte's Anandvan documentary I've told you to watch? Bhaba Amte's Anandvan. It is one of the important documentary. Any by mistake has anybody watched this? Okay, so Madhur has watched both the videos, and what did you learn from this videos? Others also, you think that, sir, watching videos are not useful or something? No, the ethics is preparation is only not reading too many books, listening to our classes and watching the videos, learning from the videos, and applying whatever you are learning in the real life context, in your personal life. And when you observe some situation, you need to apply that. So Shalu says, I'll today. So whoever has not watched actually in front of you can promise yourself that, so I will watch these videos before attend the tomorrow's class actually. It is up to you. Please promise and make a time to watch them. Promise? Done? Yes, Madhur is taking a oath. What is your oath that you are taking? The other recommendation that will give you are going to watch. So consider there is 1 minute video is also there about Mard poem. You can consider watching the poem where they want to redefine who is Mard, the men. Yesterday we have discussed. Okay, Raghav has given the promise and Ganesh has given the promise. Adana, Chituri. Let's we see who is going to keep the promises. Yes, friends, let's we go further. So Shalu is also promising. Sure. So these three videos, along with that, one more like yesterday, like last time we discussed Odandurai. If anybody has not watched, actually, you can consider watching all these three, four videos recommendation. Odandurai, March of Marriage, and Baba Amte and the Mard poem. When you watch Baba Amte, you can also search actually. There's actually very interesting video is related to Prakash Amte. So this Amte, they have an animal park in Maharashtra. So now there are many wild animals are also being taken care. Why they have taken care and what else they do? If you type Baba Amte and one benefit of this, no, suppose you have YouTube access and you have logged into your YouTube, and when you start searching this, actually the algorithm in YouTube or the artificial intelligence of YouTube recognizes your interest and start suggesting similar videos. Yes, Prashik, that Odandurai is a smart village, that concept only. Yes, friends, we have discussed husband, wife, and we discussed about the parents and children, friends. Now we are going ahead, actually, ethics in the public relationship. These types of more videos will come actually. Yes, so please start typing them in your YouTube and then actually watching them. Now we'll come back to this. So ethics in public relationship, we have understood the public relationship. Public relationships are those relationships in which the rules and regulations plays crucial role. So keep writing, keep understanding. Some of the examples of the public relationships are teacher student, lawyer and client, doctor, patient, civil servant and citizen, civil servant and politician, politician and citizen. So, citizen and the civil servant is a public relationship. Civil servant and a politician is also a public relationship. Politician and the citizen is also a public relationship. So, teacher, student, student, teacher, lawyer, client, doctor, patient. Actually, all these are the few examples of public relationship. Normally, you no need to know exactly for each of these relationship how they should be. You have to know what is the appropriate relationship between the civil servant and citizen. As a part of our discussion, definitely you will come to know. Let's we have some common points related to the ethics in the public relationships. Sir, there are in my family also there are some rules to follow. Can I consider as a public? That's a good question. That's why we said the rules and regulations are there in private relationship. It can be there. The love and emotion can also be there in the public relation. But which is important? Are you staying with your family members because of rules and regulation? Are to maintain the love and emotion for a long lasting, we made a rules. That is important actually. In family, it is the love and emotion that bind us. But maybe we'll make some rules and regulation, but which is more priority when we weigh down. So but if you weigh down where the rules and regulations are very important, that is binding or deciding what kind of relationship, then it may be public. So now you have to think yourself what is this. MLA and citizen. That's what politician and the citizen, Shalu. That is example we can consider. So generally, as there are different roles, for every role there is some responsibility. In what is ethics in public relationship? As I told you, if I'm a teacher, there is a responsibility. Doctor, there is a responsibility. A patient, or a lawyer, there is a responsibility. First thing in a public life that we are doing, we have to fulfill our responsibility. As a teacher, I have to give the best possible class to the students. As a doctor, I need to give best possible treatment to the patient. So most of this work, money is important. Money is important, but money should not be the primary motivating factor. That means the main reason that why do we do most of these services, ethically speaking, should not be only to do the money. Money is important, as you say, and we are not telling that you should work without taking the money. But money should not be the only reason or the primary reason why do you do some job. So then what do? We fulfill as a doctor. Suppose we may be a government hospital doctor or an attender or a nurse, and no matter whatever, we have to do our duty responsibly. And as a citizen, whether we like it or not, we have to follow the law of the land. First thing, we have to follow. Suppose we don't like it, it doesn't mean that we should keep quiet. We can get the support of other people. In a democracy, we need the support of other people by using social media or other kind of mechanism. We can do a peaceful protest. We can do a peaceful protest. We can write a letters to the concerned authorities, the politicians and everything. If required, we may file a public interest litigation. We may do any of these things, but as long as there is a law of the land, we need to follow the law of the land. As a citizen, our responsibility. First one, role and responsibility. If I'm a teacher, doctor, lawyer, civil servant, once we are joining the organization, we have to fulfill responsibility. See, there are some people, for example, as a part of preparation, they're preparing for example, IAS. They want to become, but during preparation, suppose they may feel that it takes some time, let me write other exam. They have written some group C, D level post, they got job. They have to do their duty, but though they got a job, they can prepare for the examination after the working hours. But during work hours, actually, if I'm not doing my duty and I'm just preparing for UPSC examination, I'm just doing injustice to my duty. If I'm an attender in a hospital, I should do my duty. After or before the duty, I can prepare for the examination. So in this way, those people who are actually got AB, they are still working for the next post, next post, next. You are always working for the future. When do you live in the present? Some people. So, as a citizen, we have to follow the law of the land. We are living in a society and we have to follow the social values that is associated with it. We should respect the social values. It is different people follow different religion, different cultural practices. We have to respect the social values as long as those practices are not violating the law of the land. Anyhow, if they are violating the law of the land, there is an appropriate action. And there is a profession, again, for every profession there is a code of conduct. For civil servants also there is a code of conduct. All India services code of conduct, central civil services code of conducts are there, and we have this topic in our discussion. This code of conduct is applicable to both your professional life as well as personal life. So, what are those code of conduct that we'll discuss as a part of our discussion? But every profession will have an appropriate behavior, appropriate way of taking the decision, and we need to follow this code of conduct. We need to analyze what is the impact of our action. Somebody may say, "Arey, open defecation. I like to go for open defecation. I do it. It is my wish. What I will do. Why other people are worried about." But because of the decision that we are taking, what is the impact that is happening on other people? I have money, I use the luxury cars or something. Okay, you can use it, but you may just once analyze what is the impact of that on the society. Positive or negative, we can analyze whenever I'm taking decision. Normally, we see what happens if I take this decision to my family members or me, but we should also think about the society. And as the celebrities, who are celebrities? Those people who are liked and respected by the common people. In the Indian context, the people who are in the film industry, who are in the sports, different kinds of sports, mainly cricket, and then the politicians. Sometimes there are many religious leaders also, they are celebrities. The religious leaders, like the Sadhguru. They're all celebrities. Say being celebrity is not even right or wrong, but it comes with a responsibility. When you are a celebrity, there are lakhs of people consider you as a role model. Your opinion matters, your action matters. So that's why you have to be very careful when you take a decision, when you express your opinion, because it has an impact on the lakhs of people. So as a celebrities, you have a celebrity, you have to be a role model. So with respect to the weaker section of society, who are weaker section of society? In generally, what who is weaker, it depends on the context. Whoever is in more need compared to the other section of society. In male and female, when we talk about the men and women are considered to be the weaker section of society. With respect to the age, children and the senior citizen are considered to be the weaker section of society compared to the engaged population. With respect to the religion, caste, SC, ST, OBCs, minorities are considered to be the weaker section of society. Disabled people are considered to be the people with a disability are the example of weaker section of society. People who are transgenders are the example of so weaker section of society, like this. With all respect to this, we need to have empathy. We need to understand the people from their perspective. Without empathy, like say understanding the people who are belong to LGBTQ community and all, it may be difficult. But if you want to have empathy, first we should know about them. Now tell me, there is some community called as LGBTIQ plus. Do you know who are this LGBTIQ? So L is actually, who are this L? Think about it. Madhur says he is a celebrity. Okay, that's good. Okay, L refers to lesbian. Who are lesbians? Lesbians means two girls means, according to one of the aspirant. If two girls are there, they are lesbians. No, just for fun. Maybe he didn't get time to type everything. The person who likes the same gender, actually. The person who likes the same sex is a better word, Madhur. Girl, it seems. Okay, so lesbians. So as you know, L refers to the lesbians, women who are sexually attracted to the another woman, women who has sexual orientation towards the another woman. So G refers to the gay. So gays are actually the men who are sexual orientation towards the other men. So bisexual. Who are these bisexual? The people who have sexual attraction towards both male or female. And T refers to transgender. Who are these transgenders? In order to know transgender, actually, we should know what is the difference between the sex and gender. What is the difference between a sex and gender? Okay. Normally, there are many ways to understand this concept. In simple, there is a male and female are there. Now listen to this. So there are male and there are female. So we have this. With male and female at the time of birth, actually, based on the different sex organs and chromosomes, they are assigned as a male or female. So, well, the word sex is biological concept. Male and female have a different reproductive organs are there, different set of chromosomes are there, different hormones are there. So based on the hormones which are present and the chromosomes that we are having and the biological organs different, at the time of birth a person is assigned as a male or female. So that is more of biological, and it is also can be called as physiological. Well, the concept of gender is more about socio-cultural differences. It is of more socio-cultural. It is also psychological. Remember, the concept of gender is about psychological and the socio-cultural. Now, when we say socio-cultural male and female, it is a normally in the normal society's way of looking at male and female. Biologically, male and female is decided by nature. We call it as actually sex is very clear. With respect to the gender, there is some rules and regulation. For example, we say in generally, boys are supposed to wear the dresses like t-shirt and jeans pant, while girls should wear other dresses like saris, chudidars, and other things. This is one, okay, kind of dress. Who created? Society created. That is one gender difference. And even colors. Normally, boys will dresses should have a less color, like blue or black or something, while women have a different colors. They own the colors. That is, I'm not saying it is right or wrong. It is a social construct image of what is a woman gender and male gender. And normally, when a boy is crying, we say, being a boy, you cry. Why do you cry like a girl or something? Normally, women are free to express their emotion, while boys are not supposed to express their expression. They have to be very strong. We say, "Mard ko dard nahi hota," actually. So men don't feel pain, suffering, and all. They are able to capable of dealing with and all. This is a socio-cultural construct of who are male and female. That is one section gender, but there is one more. Like, one is biologically what I am actually as a male or female, but psychologically what I am. So sometimes these people who are born actually biologically, they can be called as completely male, but during the development they realize that psychologically they are more associated as a female. For example, suppose if my name is Srinivas, but I want to be called as Lakshmi, just one name that we are taking. So suppose if somebody calls with me, just example, if somebody calls with me as a Lakshmi, I may like it. I may like to have the lipstick, the saris or half saris that we would like to wear. I want to be psychologically identified myself as a completely female. Biologically I'm a completely male, but psychologically I want to associate myself as a woman or a girl or something. So this is a transgender. It can be vice versa also. So here, what is this biological and the psychological? So a person, normally it is considered, person who is biologically a male should also be psychologically male, and he should marry a girl. This is so-called normal. But in generally, what is biology, what is psychology, and whom we are sexually attracted, all these three things are different. So transgender. So transgender. I is actually, we have the another category called as I. I refers to intersexual. So at the time of birth only, they are born with some actually organs which are not completely called as a male, also completely called as female also. Biologically, normally to be called as, so the definition of male, as we discussed, based on the reproductive organs, the chromosomes, hormones, usually these are the factors which decides the male and female. No, that is cannot be called completely as a male or the female according to the one definition that we created. Usually they are called as intersexual, and at the time of birth there are some operations are done so to fix it as a male or female. And then you have a Q, and Q refers to the queer community. This is an umbrella term which includes the LGBT, etc. Actually, I and etc. It's an umbrella term to refer to the people who are belong to this category. And we have also have a plus. There are many other categories are there of these people. Like for example, there are asexuals. They are not attracted to actually girls also, boys also. There are few people who are gender fluid. Sometimes they want to be identified as a male, sometimes they want to be identified as a female, sometimes they want to identified as both. If you just type gender fluid people in YouTube, there are many interviews you will get about these people who are belong to the gender fluid community. Okay, so all these people, now when we don't know about this, or sometimes, all these people are nonsense, why behave like a male or female, only these two are true. No, then that is not correct. We have to go beyond our knowledge of what is this male and female, try to understand them. The more and more we understand them, we develop empathy, and the way when we take decision, that will have an impact on us. So know more about these people, so we will develop empathy, and then we should have a tolerance towards the people who follow the different culture, different lifestyle. It's okay. See, finally we have to live happily, finally we have to live according to the law of the land. Within this limitation, if anybody wants to follow different paths of life, it is okay to live. Let us we appreciate for because somebody is trying to follow a different path. So we should try to have a commitment to bring positive changes in our life in whatever the way that is possible. We should have an impact in a positive way. Like for example, Baba Amte, yesterday we have told, actually he is a person who worked for the people who are suffering from leprosy. And then Sudha Murthy, with the help of her Infosys Foundation, she has done many work. One important work is actually helping the Devadasis, helping the Devadasis to come out of the practice of Devadasi. What is this Devadasi system, which is prevalent in the northern Karnataka region and other areas, like for example in Raichuru district of Karnataka, and in other places it was there, where a few of the women were actually made as Devadasis. Deva means God, Dasi means servant. The literal meaning of Devadasi is a servant of God. When a girl comes to her teenage, she was married to God. She cannot marry other person. She was living close to a temple. She was doing some services to the temple. She was doing some services to the devotees. She was supposed to do all the services or help to the devotees, including giving physical pleasure to them, like having sexual relationship with them also. So these people who are Devadasis were considered to be one of the sacred act actually. Many parents were allowing their daughter to become Devadasis. At the time of 13, 14, she was not even aware what is happening in her life. That decreases her employment opportunities, education opportunities, decision taking opportunities. So and then at the time of 30, 40, somehow sometimes there are some so-called devotees who come, they will have a physical relationship, they pay the money and go. But once after the 40 plus or something, there's usually less demand for her, nobody to come to her, or she do not have the enough money also. They will also have a kids, and they were facing a lot of problem. So in that time, actually, the Sudhamurti decided to fight actually against this practice of Devadasi, which was not so easy. She spent around 20 years on this project along with other projects, so that around 3,000 people who were able to, come out of the Devadasi system. If you type Sudhamurti's actually effort on Devadasis or something, at the keyword Devadasi and Sudhamurti, in the YouTube, you will get many videos where she explains her actually effort. If you type Infosys Foundation in Google, actually, YouTube, you will also get videos related to that. There are many videos are there, 4 to 5 minutes. Consider watching the efforts of Sudhamurti and the Bhaba Amte. And SM Timmakka. If you type SM Timmakka in Google, you will come to know our SM refers to Salumara. Salumaradha Timmakka. Just if you want to know SM Timmakka, if you type, it is a rows of trees, the Salumardam is. A common woman actually from Karnataka. She has planted more than 8,000 trees and she has received Padma Shri award. So it is, though it appears to be a simple, if you watch videos, images related to that, you will get a better clarity. So as a part of homework, try to know more about Bhaba Amte, Sudhamurti and Salmarda Timaka. They all tried hard to bring positive changes. And I wish that one of my student actually do something. And for the next generation, I will quote these people as an example. Like Shilpa, Lakshmi, Madhur and other people, they have done this actually and all. So hope I'll get an opportunity to replace these people with any one of my students. Are we clear? So ethics in public relationship, these are the keywords that we have to remember, and let's we see in the future what kind of questions that may come on this context. Sir, please explain the code of conduct. See, code of conduct means there are rules and regulation usually given by an association to the stakeholder, like doctors association. There is a code of conduct how doctors should behave. Lawyers association, and the same time there is a code of conduct for the civil servants. For now, you remember code of conducts are the set of guidelines for appropriate behavior. We have a topic called code of conduct in our syllabus, and when we come we will discuss what is code of ethics, what is code of conduct, and what is the relationship between these two. Sir, please come again. The citizen and the law of the land. So what we are telling that we are talking about ethics in the public relationship. In a public relationship, as a citizen, we are there. What is our duty with respect to the nation and the citizen, the public relationship? What is that something we have to follow the law of the land properly, like paying the taxes properly, following the traffic rules properly. So it is our duty to respect and follow the law of the land because it is created for our welfare. That is one ethics in the public relationship. Got it, Charlie? Yes, friends. Any doubts about ethics in private and public relationships in general? No doubt. Then we are entering into this topic called thinkers and philosophers. Who are thinkers and who are philosophers? Yes. Try to think who are thinkers and who are philosophers. Thinkers who think and let us think. Thinkers are who think in a rational manner. Philosophers are those who love wisdom. Others, please participate. Thazin, wake up now and started, sir. What are the sources of ethics? That is long back we have discussed, but still, as a part of our discussion, we have discussed it. So, sources of ethics, actually, where do we learn ethics from? And one important source of ethics is we can learn from thinkers and philosophers. We can learn from religion. We can learn from law of the land. We can learn from culture, festival, all this actually. We can learn from the textbooks. We can learn from the movies. We can learn from leaders, reformers, administrators. These are the sources of ethics. Thinker who makes changes in the society, philosophers who gives philosophy on a particular subjects. I think we are all thinkers. Philosophers create actually some moral values. Sedentary man thinker, wanderer philosopher. Wow. Okay, you are telling that the okay, this Thazin, sorry actually for that. Yes, you are right. Thinkers and philosophers are the sources of ethics. Yes, you are right. Philosophers talk about the philosophical world. Where is this philosophical world, shallow, and what is this? Okay, friends. Now listen to me. Okay. Thinkers are think and imagine, but philosophers are think and write in a manner. Okay, there are different interpretations you have done. That's a good that you have done. Oh, let's we see. Some student want to know what is empathy. I'll start this. So empathy means ability of a person to understand the other people from their perspective. So, Konatham, you might not have attended previous sessions. No problem, actually. So, if possible, please make sure that with the help of recorded classes, you will cover all the three sessions. Now, we are in the fourth session. There we discussed what is empathy. No problem. So, okay, now listen to me. Okay. So, thinkers and philosophers. The first one is they are synonymous. That means in the place of thinkers, we can use philosophers. Philosophers, we can also use thinkers. They are used as synonymous. In general, if you want to know, thinkers are those people again who they do not follow anything blindly. They question everything. Thinkers, they will question everything, they will analyze everything. Why the concept of God is created? If God is there, God has a really structure. And if there is a structure, what can be the structure? Why there may be a concept of God? What is heaven? What is hell? Is it to be there? What is the life? What is the purpose of life? Why do we born? Why do we die? Do we have to do anything? It is our responsibility to take care of family. Is it responsible to take care of society? What is the relationship between me and my family, me and the society? How we have to live. So they ask as many questions as possible and they try to find the answers, and they also make other people think. They think and they make other people think. They do not come up with any answer. There is no one right answer. What is the purpose of life? Why we have born? How we have to live our life? There is no one logic actually, or one explanation that satisfy all the answers. So that is why they are keep on thinking. They will try to find some truth actually, and they're open to learning. They also make other people think. They are thinkers. Well, the philosopher, the literal meaning of philosophy is love for knowledge. Philia, it means love. Sophos, it means knowledge. Sophia, that means a knowledge. So love for the knowledge. So once again, these people also have the curiosity to ask this question: what is life? What is the purpose of life? Why we have born? Why are we going to die? Why animals are actually born? Why do the ant born? Houseflies born? The cockroaches are born? Do they also have some spiritual existence? Do we have some spiritual existence beyond body, mind, or something? All this, they are come up with some theories, actually, like philosopher come up with this is right, wrong, and everything. For example, maybe Mahatma Gandhiji's tools of truth and non-violence, or the Gautama Buddha's Ashtanga Marga. So in this way, they will come up with some idea of what is right and wrong. They can be called as philosophers. But remember, they are synonymous. Normally, it is considered that Socrates is the father of philosophy. Socrates is considered to be the father of philosophy. But one of the famous statement of Socrates is actually, I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. This is the mindset of the thinker, but we call him as a philosopher. Just to tell you, you no need to bother about it. That means worry about what is thinker, what is philosopher, and all. That is what we are trying to tell. So one of the famous statements associated with Socrates is that I know that I'm intelligent. I know that I am intelligent. Because I know that I know nothing. Try to understand this statement. I know that I'm intelligent because I know that I know nothing. Why he might have said this? What is the meaning of this? Shalu says philosophical world is where they talk about philosophy. Wow. So then economy world, geography world, polity world, ethics world. So we are in ethics world now, according to the definition of Shalu. Tell no, interpret this statement. It's meaning that he is intelligent and humble, that he is saying, I don't know nothing but ready to learn. It is wrong to say like that, sir. Okay, you are telling that Socrates is wrong. Socrates means Socrates. Yeah, Arnab. So if somebody feels that actually he feels like he know everything, then we are not ready to accept the new knowledge. So this point talks about open to learning. This is an important concept actually. Whatever this is, we have to be open to learning. Open for the new knowledge, new information, new understanding. Ready to learn, correct. Okay. See, normally the biggest problem is actually the people think that we know everything, and our society also. Suppose if you go to the interview and they says that actually how much knowledge you have, intelligence. Suppose if somebody say I don't know anything, usually we may not be hired. But what is the logic behind that? It doesn't mean that actually he doesn't know anything. But the very fact that once I know that I know what is life, what is the purpose of life and everything, if I know, I am not ready to listen to the other side of perspective, other side of the story. Now, whatever we know as a truth, actually, it may be temporary truths. What is God? At the time of age of 10 years, you have some concept of God. At 21, you have a different concept. By the age of 30, you will have a different concept of God. Even the scientific, so-called scientific facts may also change. Our understanding may change. Before we come up with that idea of microorganisms, and our idea of why people get diseases were completely different. And once we know that there are microorganisms, the way we started understanding is different. In our childhood, we might have studied that there are 9 planets in the solar system, but we see that there are 8 planets in the solar system. So, in that way, whatever the truth that we are there, it may change. What exactly caused the spread, creation and spread of COVID-19? We don't know. We had some knowledge in 2020, we may think something, and after 10 years we may have a different clarity. So whatever we know, it may be a temporary truth, and whatever we consider as a right, it may be right for us, it may not be right for other people. So we should have a suspicion or doubt about our knowledge. So that is the first step to learn any philosophy. It is the first step to learn any philosophy. Normally it is said that, Socrates was making his students that we should not follow anything blindly, we should ask questions, we should ask as many questions as possible whenever he meets some youth, the people. Like, for example, if is people like Socrates, they meet you and say you are preparing for civil service examination, why are you preparing for civil service examination? And you say, I want to do public service. And why do you want to do public service? And okay, this is the reason. Why can't you achieve something without doing public service? Or if you want to achieve the public service, why only IAS? There are so many other options. So ask as many questions as possible. When we ask, we should not get irritated, affected, or why are you asking question? It is a fact. Actually, we are also getting a realization what I have to do with this life, why I want to become IAS, why public services, and if that gives me happiness, what are the other things that can be happiness actually? So when we ask so many questions, we'll get a clarity. So when religion and the monarchy usually can exist as long as the people are not questioning. If we start questioning everything, normally religion may not have answer for many questions, the monarchy cannot give the answer for many of the questions. So Socrates was making everybody to question everything that is happening around them, and Socrates was arrested because he is creating the disturbances in the society. He was arrested under charges of polluting the minds of youth actually. Because when people are asking questions, they're not following the orders of king, they're not following what is mentioned in the religion and everything. So Socrates was arrested. So in a trial, during the trial, it is said that, see, whatever you are doing, good or bad, we don't know. But because of your work, you are creating instability in the society. So please stop doing. Then Socrates, it is said that Socrates says this, my lord, whatever I'm doing is right according to my conscience, I will continue to do that. And as a judge, if you feel that it is inappropriate, you can give me any punishment and I'll also follow that. So it is said that he was given a death punishment, that he has to take a poison and die. So on the last day, I know where the day is decided for the death of Socrates, many of his students have come actually. See, you can see in this picture, observe the picture that is in front of you, the image. It is considered that it is associated with the last day of the Socrates, where many of his students have come, followers have come to meet him and say that, Socrates, you are our guru and we don't want you to see die. Somehow we make arrangement. Please go out of the Athens, a city in the Greece. Uh, Greece, and somehow you have to leave actually, we don't want you to die. But Socrates said that I am still a loyal citizen of Athens. That means I am loyal to my conscience, I do what I like to do. I am also a loyal citizen of Athens. As a citizen, what we have to do, we need to follow the law of the land. So he said that I am still a loyal citizen of Athens, and you can see that. And he took the poison called hemlock, a drink, and died. This is the story or an history that depends on actually. So he is associated with the Socrates. Compared to the information that we have to know, then if we compare what we know, it is nothing actually. Now imagine sometimes whether God is there or not, what is nature, why do we have to create and all. Imagine, suppose we have so much of here setup for the classes, online classes and all. And imagine again, you are all sitting and there is small ant, ant is actually sitting there and is observing what is happening. Now, how much ant can understand like what is this class, how we are teaching, what we are teaching and all. In the same way, compared to the nature, the dilemmas, dramas and happening in the nature, we are like an ant. And no matter how much we try, it's almost impossible or very difficult to know the reality of the nature, the concept of God, heaven, hell, and so many other things. Now, see, normally when we study thinkers and philosophers, there is so much of concepts of right and wrong is there, and there is philosophy for almost everything. But it is in our syllabus, there is no specific philosophy that is mentioned. As a civil service aspirant, you have to study so many philosophies and decide some philosophies which are appropriate. We have given some philosophies which are normally considered to be appropriate for civil servant, but you should not limit to only these concepts. Now, how to study these philosophies will tell you. There is a statement that is given in front of you. I want you to go to through this and tell me in one sentence, if possible, what is this whole statement is all about. Okay, go through this and we'll see what is this all about. Good attempt by some. Read this completely and try to understand. Good. Good. You have to try. Then I will explain. Okay. Good attempts. Students, can you see now others' comments actually? No, no, no. Try now. Now also you are not seeing. Okay. So Shweta says yes. Okay. Now it is yes. Okay. That's observe. Please observe the others' comments also. Like others answer what they are actually giving us, so that you will also give first once you have to complete and then just observe others. Okay, that's good. Okay. That's good. So, like now, whenever we ask this question, actually, first you have to write your own answer. Also, please observe the others' answers. Also, we'll get a lot. We will learn a lot how our friends are thinking and everything. So, it is good. Now, listen to me. First, Mahatma Gandhiji's talisman. And you hope you know the years which are mentioned, the year of birth and the year of death, just for your understanding. What is talisman? Normally, talisman means actually, when suppose sometimes when we're not feeling well, the people go to some so-called a priest or something. They do some puja and they give some thread, a sacred thread, which is also called as talisman. Normally, if we wear that, all our problems will be resolved. Talisman is something which is considered to have some magical formula. So here, Mahatma Gandhi talks about a statement which creates a magic. What is that magic? We'll see. So this is a statement which increases our empathy. This is a statement associated with empathy, and this empathy can lead to the compassion. This is an empathy, and that can lead to the compassion. Now, what is empathy? Ability of a person to understand the other people from their perspective. But whenever we want to take a decision, if we can imagine the poorest person or the weakest person that we have seen in our life, okay, so when we see the poor and weakest person and see how much problems they are facing, the pain they are undergoing, the suffering that they are undergoing, difficulties they are facing, it becomes difficult not to help them. If we really have empathy, it becomes difficult, it becomes difficult not to help them. It becomes difficult not to help them. So we develop a desire to help them, desire to help them, and that led to the compassion. So the above statement of Mahatma Gandhi talks about the importance of empathy and compassion. If a statement is given actually like this, or you have to remember that actually Mahatma Gandhi's statement of talisman encourages us to understand the situation or imagine the situation of the poorest or the weakest person before we take the decision, that help us to give priority to them. So most of this poorest or weakest section of the society, you have to see by the decision that I'm going to take, are they going to gain anything or they lose anything? If I know that I'm going to take some decision and they're losing, they already have almost any, they have do not have anything, or they may have very little things. And if my decision is going to take away, we are coming with some government projects, but there are poor people who do not have almost anything to survey, and we are taking away whatever the little things that we are having. If I am in that situation, if my family members are there in that situation, once we imagine, the way we look at the project will change. Can we restore the control over their life? Many of these poor people, they don't have control over their life. If I'm a poor person, if I'm not feeling well, I cannot have a choice which hospital I should go. Wherever it is free, I should go. If I have a kids, I don't have a choice in which school my son should study, where our daughter should study. Wherever it is free, it is available. Which job I have to do, whatever the job available. How many hours I should do, whatever my landlord or the owner says. But is my decision is giving back the control over their life to them, or taking away the little control that they have their life? They do not have freedom. Though we got an independence in 1947, as a poor person, the weaker section of society, do not have a freedom. We don't have a choices actually. It may be available to some educated rich people. When we really analyze all this, the way you look at the society and the way you take the decision will changes. That is the beauty of this. Now you no need to by heart this, but you should go through this, and you should know the summary of it. So Mahatma Gandhiji's talisman statement encourages the quality of empathy. Empathy, when we understand other people from their perspective, especially if we empathize with the poorest or the weaker section of the society, we know that they have very little the resources they have access to. They do not have the actual freedom. It encourages us to take the decision. It creates a magic. Normally, suppose there is some big infrastructure project is coming and the slum people are living there. Okay, because they have illegally occupied, will demolish and construct one big mall or a big temple or something. But the moment you think through the empathy about poor people, there is a magic that is created. The way we look at this problem will be much different. So this is the beauty of talisman, which encourages us to, whenever we take the decision, we need to take the decision in favoring the poorest or the weaker section of the society. This is how you have to remember. Fine. Hope you have understood. Now we are going with another one. So this is called Mahatma Gandhiji's concept of talisman. Now there's another concept of Mahatma Gandhiji that he has published in his journal Young India in the year 1925. The concept is called as seven social sins. Let us we understand one by one. Give me one example for politics without principles. Do we need to think about this statement in every situation? Shali, normally there is nothing like in every situation always. Generally, we should remember. It is like utilitarianism, virtue approach, common good approach. How we have so many approaches. This is also one approach that we have to remember. This is all ethics giving us guidelines. But which one you follow, you may remember every time, but which one you follow, that depends on the many contexts. But finally you should take appropriate decision for that situation. Okay, give me one example for politics without principles. As you can see, others comments actually go through. Please, you have to type yours, and others also actively participate because others are watching your answers. So be a responsible user also. Yeah. See, any one example we'll need to take. As a politician that we are in, there are so many principles that we have to follow. If we are not following ethical principle, like for example, we call vote bank politics. We are giving money to get the vote. We are dividing the people based on the caste religion to get the votes. Actually, that is politics without principle. I selected from the party A for my own benefit. I'm leaving this party defection and joining the another party. That is actually politics without principle. Once we come to the power, we should utilize the power well. But if we are involved in a scams, then it is actually politics without principle. So involvement in the scams is one example. Give me one example for wealth without work. There should be a wealth without work, and that should also be a sin. Lottery may be wealth without work actually, but you are invested something, and it is not a sin. It should be a sin also. It should be both wealth without work and a sin. Think like that. Okay, good. Government fee, home construction, land distribution. Government free home construction, land distribution. Robbery. Robbery involves so much of work, man. Ganesh. Slavery, we are actually slavery is a different example where people are working but they are not getting the wealth. Here we are acquiring the wealth but actually without actually working. Yes, as many of you can see, actually, so the answer is bribe. Why bribe? So for you may say, sir, in order to get bribe, I should work only. I should do some work only. Then they will give me bribe. No, but as a government servant, as a public official, whatever the job that I'm doing, I am already getting the salary, but whatever that extra I'm getting is the bribe. So that is called wealth without work. The money that suppose we invest in a stock market, or the properties that is coming from our parents, the some money that we have earned through lottery, literally they may be wealth without work, but they are not the sins. They are not the sin. That is a evil things. Actually, they are not evil things. But bribe is one thing, wealth without work. Can you give me example for pleasure without conscience? First, you have to give comment and then observe the other comments. If you think others first, if you see observe first, you may not think. So that's why please be volunteer yourself. Don't see the comments. First, you think on your own. What is the example for pleasure without conscience? And then observe other comments. Home rent, actually, as I told you, it is not a sin, actually. Money laundering, it's again a different process. What happens to this bribe money and all, that the next stage is actually money laundering. First, this bribe is a black money, then we convert into white money and all. Home rent is not a sin. Yeah, Anshu states slavery is an example for work without wealth. Terrorism. But actually, people who are involved in terrorism, sometimes they don't do it for a pleasure. They consider that sometimes those people, a particular terrorist, they may do it for pleasure. Again, I'm not supporting it is actually terrorist is right or wrong, but we are just analyzing whether that can be an example for this actually. That's all. So they consider that maybe sometimes our religion is great or they have some goal and they want to achieve that. Only to get pleasure, usually people do not become the terrorist. Okay. So go ahead, go ahead. Others also participate. Gambling itself is actually not a problem. What, see, gambling, is not a problem, but how much money that you are spending on gambling, where are you getting that money from the gambling, whether you have addicted to the gambling, there are many other factors that decides. Die. Bullying is an example. Sexual abuse is an example for this. Prostitution is not necessarily pleasure without conscience. Sorry. Okay, see, pleasure. Somebody is trying, here we are trying to get the pleasure by harassing somebody, by creating problem to the other people, can be an example for pleasure without conscience. So, sexual harassment. Sexual harassment. Where a person is trying to get a pleasure through harassing the other person, actually. That is an example for pleasure without conscience. Excessive shopping, as long as you have money and it's your own money and other person is not facing the problem, then it is okay. Teasing others, if it is hurting them and then we are teasing, then yes, it is correct. Prostitution is not a pleasure without conscience. Domestic violence, yes, it is an example. If you are doing that violence actually to get pleasure, sometimes domestic violence happens for many reasons. Normally, sexual harassment, these people who are harassing to get that pleasure, that's why we have used this word. Now, come back to this example. So, give me an example for knowledge without character. Dowry abuse, that is not for a pleasure. I'm saying dowry abuse is wrong actually, but that may not be a pleasure without conscience. Give example for knowledge without character. As bribe, we have already written. Think of different examples. Again, rapists are already written, Preeti. That can also be example, but we just want you to create other example than what we discussed in the first three. Okay, so that's good. Correct, Prashik. Politicians itself are not example, Madhur. Um, Prashant also, we cannot say, like when we use the word politician and all, it can wrong. There are many great politicians too. Okay, any crime that is committed by the educated people actually can come under knowledge without character. Normally, educated people involving in the dowry harassment. That is. So, for the sake of this, we'll give example of cyber crimes. Because in order to do the cyber crimes, we need a knowledge actually, and we are doing the crime. So many crimes are coming actually. You know, in the newspaper, if you observe, you can give the example. So, cyber crimes are an example. There is a web series called Jamtara. Whoever, this is not actually like a recommendation for exam you have to watch, but for a curiosity you may consider watching this web series called Jamtara, which is based on the real incidents. How the group of say, people who are not much formally educated, but they have a very good knowledge about this, our so-called intelligence, how they are able to fool the people with their different kinds of crimes. So Jamthara you may consider watching. So here, cyber crimes are an example for knowledge without character, commerce without morality, or business without ethics. Commerce without morality or business without ethics. First, you have to write and then also observe others. See, it is all about just participating, being present and actively participating. When the moment comes, you have to start thinking and then learn. That's why think and learn is the best method. Good, there are very active participants are there here. Thank you for them. Okay, commerce without morality. Loans with the more interest. Yes. Human trafficking, child trafficking, food adulteration, smuggling. Accountants helping the taxpayers to evade the tax. Yes, correct actually. Human trafficking, illegal construction, correct. Drug smuggling, crimes, selling the cheap quality products to customers before earning the profits or for earning the profits. Okay. Hawala, pharma companies, not all pharma companies, money laundering. Okay, so any business that we are doing without actually following the ethical values, that is an example. So food adulteration can also be an example. We'll just take one example. Now, science without humanity. Science is a neutral word, eco-neutral concept, but utilizing the knowledge of science and technology for the destruction of human beings is called science without humanity. Okay, yes, good. COVID itself is not science without humanity, and we do not know the origin of the COVID 19. As a civil service aspirant, we do not know. Maybe as a common person, actually, we may say, oh, China created that, this, everything. As a civil service aspirant, we do not know the origin of this. Experiment on animals actually. See, we have there is some protocol to be followed actually. As of now, experiment on animals by following some protocols is okay. This specific question is about science without humanity. Okay, so bombing on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, again, bomb itself is not a problem, but where are you using this? So we keep this. Bombing on Hiroshima and Nagasaki is an example for science without humanity. So bioweapons is an example. Finally, the last one interesting is a religion without sacrifice. Weapons of mass destruction. Yes, Raghav. And you are using against the human beings. Religion without sacrifice. But is that actually religion without sacrifice, Chituri? All religion wants us to sacrifice. So what sacrifice they may be talking about, Arvind? So religion is created to unite the people. That is to tell that we are all united under one God or one kind of tradition, culture, and everything. And why do we have to united each other? What is the purpose of unity? So that we care each other. We care each other. That is the purpose, that why actually this religion is created, so that we get the feeling that we are all one, and we share each other, we care each other, we help each other. So that means if you want to help others, we want to care others, if you want to help others, sometimes we need to spend time, we need to spend our money, we need to spend other resources that we have. Normally, if you want to help, usually you are spending something, you are spending your time, you are spending your money or other resources that you have. That is called a sacrifice. And the very purpose of this religion is only this sacrifice. It is not human animal sacrifice or something. So here sacrifice means we have to share each other, care each other, and if you want to care each other, we need to spend time, money, and other resources. This is called as a sacrifice. And if we are not sacrificing that, then it is actually religion without sacrifice. So it is what is this? It means that following the religion without helping others is the religion without sacrifice. That is a sin. Now, all these are the seven social sins, a concept associated with Mahatma Gandhi. When we are writing based on the context, actually, you can give the example of actually this can be made it into ethical principles also. Like politics with principle is right. Now, what is wrong is without this. What is right? If you want to make a right statement, actually, that is wealth with work is ethics. Pleasure with conscience, knowledge with character, commerce with morality, science with humanity, religion with sacrifice. These are all the ethical concepts associated with Mahatma Gandhi. Seven ethics, ethical values. You can also call it as seven ethical values by changing something. Hope you have understood. Now, how to use it, we'll practice some case studies. These are all the foundation, the first 3 4 days. Then we'll start applying. Then you will get more clarity where to use it. Not development of ethical nature even after following the religion. Okay. Are we clear about this concept called as seven social sins? Hope it is clear. Yes, thank you for the participation. Now, see, we discuss more of Mahatma Gandhi, sir. Why we are discussing more of Mahatma Gandhi ji? One, he is considered to be the leader of Indian independence movement, and he is also considered to be the father of nation. And there are many previous year questions are also asked based on the Gandhiji statement. That is why we are discussing more. So it is said that as a part of his Sabarmati ashrama, the people are supposed to take these 11 promises every day that we'll follow this in our life actually. So these are the 11 O's are the promises according to Mahatma Gandhi ji. Let us we go one by one. Now what is ahimsa? Ahimsa means I want one at least one person to answer. Then we'll go ahead. Non-violence. So we should not have the violence. Correct. Now, see this. The word non-violence has a very broader meaning. So, if we are having jealousy on somebody, "Arey, this person is getting so many things, I am not getting so many things. I am having hatred towards other people." This is also the mental violence. Physically, we are going attacking. That is a physical violence. But there is a mental violence is there. So mental violence means we are developing hatred. I want to kill, but I'm not killing. That is also a kind of violence. So Mahatma Gandhi ji believes that this mental violence also should not be there. So that is called non-violence. Then what is satya? Satya means being truthful, speaking truth, being truth or speaking truth. Now asteya, asteya means what? Asteya is not actually not to lie. Yeah, asteya literally means non-stealing. Taking away the other's resources is stealing, that we should not do. And why people, well, and for that asteya also means that we need to follow simple life. Now, what is simple life means actually if I'm able to live within whatever I'm able to earn, with my using knowledge, intelligence, whatever I'm earning, and if I'm able to live within that, that is called simple life. But if I'm not happy with whatever I'm getting and I want to get other people, then it lead to the stealing. So asaya means non-stealing actually. So brahmacharya. Now tell me what is brahmacharya? Celibacy. What is celibacy? If it is brahmacharya means celibacy, what is celibacy? Or what is brahmacharya? Anshu, is it LEAVE leave or LIVE leave? Brahmacharya means no marriage. According to the Akula, leave all worldly desire. Then what desire we should have Asta? Oh, there's a, I think there's also a religious channel called Asta. According to Arvindam, no sex or not even sexual thoughts. Is it practically possible to have a life without sexual thoughts or even the sex? Especially if you are in the age group of 15 to 50 years. Living a life in the middle course of Buddha is called brahmacharya. If you are a medicanter, oh, mendicanter. What is this mendicanter, Raghav? Not to get distracted with sexual pleasure and others. Okay. So normally the word brahmacharya is sometimes the misunderstood. It is related concept, whatever you are telling. The Brahma means truth. Acharya, here Acharya means actually process. It is a path towards the truth. Path towards. Acharya means path towards. So it is a path moving towards the truth actually. That is Brahmacharya. Brahmana. Who is Brahmana actually? One who is a knowledgeable person is a Brahmana. Brahma means knowledge. Brahma means truth. Knowing the truth actually. So normally, if you want to, we'll just take that another one. I want to leave a truth. We should not have attachments. When we have attachment, we do not know the truth actually. If we are attached to one religion, we don't know the truth of religion because we believe that. If we are attached to our family members, we do not know the family as a concept actually. We cannot understand the family when we are in the family, when we are attached with that. When we attach to father or mother, we do not understand them well actually because we are attached to them. So when we should have a discipline, and then you will find the truth. So the process of knowing the truth is called brahmacharya. So you can be a brahma, you can follow the brahmacharya even after the marriage actually. You can be a married person, you can still have a discipline in the life. You will question everything, you will have a curiosity to know and everything. This is all called as brahmacharya. Having curiosity to know, you doubt whatever you know. Doubting is also fine because when you doubt, you are ready to actually know the other side of story. This is all called as a brahmacharya. So it is a path of knowing the truth. So every day they are giving the promises that Mahatma Gandhi ji has taken the brahmacharya promise. That doesn't mean that he left Kasturiba. He was living with her, but still you can follow the brahmacharya. Even married people can follow brahmacharya. What is asangraha means? Asangraha or asangraha? So brahmacharya doesn't mean that you should not have sexual thoughts or you should not have a sexual relationship. You should not addicted to it. You are not attached to it. That is called brahmacharya. Now, what is asangraha? Okay, so we are having some points. Let others also participate. So we are getting less participation. Come on, others, please participate. Renunciation of possessions. No idea. Okay. So asangraha, the literal meaning of asangraha means actually asangraha means actually non-possession. Non-possession. Here, what is this non-possession means actually we need to have the resources that is only required for us. We should not have too many resources that is not required for us. We should live a simple life. Whatever the resources that we are having, we not accumulate. Sangraha means accumulation. Sangraha means accumulation. Asangraha means not accumulating. Not accumulating too many resources. Not accumulating too many resources. So, okay, this I want, everything we keep quiet. So, if you are having, suppose you are having some 50 kinds of dresses, but average you use 5 to 6 only. You just accumulated. Normally, you may have the use regularly 2 pair of shoes, but you have more than 10 pair of shoes actually. It is right or wrong is subjective, but that is a sangraha. We are accumulating just okay. We are not allowing the other people to have it actually. So, we should not accumulate too many things. That is asangraha, according to Mahatma Gandhi. Should have what we need or not what we want. We can also have what we want also, but not too much. Sharirashrama. What is the meaning of Sharirashrama? Sharirashrama. Physical body work. Correct. So it is a physical labor. So it's a physical work actually. So at least 1 hour a day you are expected to do some work. That is good for ourselves also. If possible, if we just elaborate it further, this 1 hour of physical work for the welfare of other people. In 1940s, 30s and all, most if you want to serve other people, we are supposed to work physically. So that's why physical work at least 1 hour per day, and that is especially for the welfare of other people. That is Sharira Shrama. Can you recall or guess or know what is Aswada? Swada, Aswada. Yes, Madhur. Madhur is related to actually your name is related to this Aswada. What is the meaning of Madhur? Madhur means bitter. Are you sure Madhur means bitter? Sir, I am talking about Aswada. Then what is Madhur? Okay, Madhur means sweet. Okay, Aswada means actually here we should not eat for the taste. So not to eat, then you should not stop. We should eat, but not to eat for taste. That is for survival. Then for what we should eat? For survival. Whatever is required for survival, we should eat it actually so that we can continue to live a healthy body or something. Only for the sake of taste, we should not follow. It is not my opinion. It is opinion of Aswada. It is also a part of self-control. We are tempted to eat what may not be required and all because when you focus on the taste. Sarvatra bhayavarjana. Eat to live, not live to eat. So Himanshu, there is a difference between LIV leave and LEAV leave. In exam, if you make a difference, it can give a completely different meaning. So observe actually whether you are using LIV leave or LEAV leave. So Sarvatra Bhayavarjana. It is not about not having cravings for this one. Bhaya means fear. Varjana means absence of it. Sarvatra means always. So it means that fearlessness. Fearlessness. So you no need to have the fear. Sometimes we fear of losing something. Array, my respect, where do I lose? Actually, money, where do I lose? The prestige and everything. We may lose any time. Or sometimes we worry, when do I may get a death actually or something. That may come any point of time. So no need to have the fear. Just do whatever best. Sometimes the students will have the fear. What happens if I don't clear the examination? So don't worry. I will prepare. Whether what will happen, I may clear. If I don't clear, that's all. There are only two possibilities are there. That's why even it is considered that nishkama karma you have to follow. There is a related concept, not exactly in Bhagavad Gita. There is a concept called as nishkama karma. Here, karma means doing our duty. Kama means actually expectation. Nish means without. Nishkama karma. You have to work without the expectation. Now, as a student, I do my duty as a student. Whether I will clear or not, that is not in my control actually. But if I clear, that is good. If I don't clear, it is still good. I will utilize this knowledge to somewhere else. So you as a student, you have to do your duty properly. Sarva dharma samanatva. What does it mean? Examiner make us to leave. If we write leave instead of leave. Okay, that was a good fun. Devoted towards the dharma. All the religions are same. All the religions are equal. Yes, correct. Dharma means religion in this context here. So all religions are equal. All religions are equal. Swadeshi. What is Swadeshi? To use only Indian gods. Oh, good. Sorry. Okay. So Swadeshi is not freedom actually. Swaraj is freedom. Yeah. So Swadeshi, giving freedom actually preference to the local economy. It doesn't mean that we should follow only local economy, but we can give preference to the local economy. So whenever we are buying the products, actually, suppose there is a 10,000 rupees mobile and another country is also 10,000. If same features are there and everything, then we may give priority to the local economy, because when local companies are grown, the here people will get employment opportunities, tax will go to the government of India. Further, it benefits the people once again. So that is why. Then Sparsha Bhavana. What is Sparsha Bhavana? Sparsha Bhavana. Go on, go ahead. Try. Touch and feel. So Gandhiji is telling to touch and feel or what? Prashantji? Okay. The literal meaning of Sparsha Bhavanam, as it said, actually, it is a touch of feel actually. But here he is talking about not to practice untouchability. The here actually, so not to follow the untouchability. Asparsha means actually untouchability. Not to follow the untouchability, Sparsha Bhavana. Every section of society and all the living beings has to be respected. You should not discriminate the people based on certain criteria. So not following untouchability, these are the Sparsha Bhavana. So as a part of the people who are present in the Sabarmati Ashrama, every day evening they were supposed to take these promises that I follow non-violence in my life. I'll always speak the truth. I do not steal others and live a simple life. I'll always be keep open to learning, that is brahmacharya. I do not accumulate more than whatever is required. So that means why he is talking about that we should not keep more than that is required. See, earth has enough resources according to the Gandhiji. Earth has enough resources only to fulfill the need of everyone, but not the greed. So that means earth has enough resources only to fulfill the need. Now there are 50 people. Imagine that there are 50 people in the classroom. And now we decided to give breakfast. So we got actually 100 idlis that will give. So everybody will get two, 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 two. But there are few people who are very strong actually. They're maybe physically strong, intelligent, and everything. And people like Trupti, Prashant, Shalu, all the Madhur, all these people got 4, 4, 4 actually, etc. So when you got so many things, there are other people who do not get even two idlis also. So that is why you eat two, and if there are some 50th person may not be able to wake up and come because of disability, you may take four, but you take that extra two and give it to the people, that person who is not getting. If you are intelligent or something, you may earn four, but you should not keep it with you. You can take six, but see who are do not have access to and everything, and give it to them actually. So that is what you are supposed to do in the asangraha. Sharira shramam, aswada, sarvatra bhayavarjana, sarva dharma samanatva, swadeshi, sparsha bhavana, etc. And for more information, we have given few more points. Actually, you can consider going through this. Ahimsa means now you can, as these PPTs are available, you can take the photo of this actually and study later. Ahimsa means non-violence, no hatred or jealousy. It is not just that we love, wish, and serve. We love other people. We wish other people that sarve jano sukhino bhavantu. We also serve them. Truth or ethical, asteya, brahmacharya, moving towards the Brahma, away from the attachments. Asangraha means non-possession, trusteeship. What is this trusteeship? Same point like I have explained you. Suppose I have rupees 100 with me. Okay, 100 rupees I have. But only rupees 60 is enough to lead a decent standard of life. Like suppose I'm earning 100 rupees per day, and hypothetically 60 rupees is enough to lead a decent standard of life. And I have this extra 40 rupees. For this extra 40 rupees, I should not consider myself as a owner. Rather, I should consider myself as a trustee. Now, for example, for a temple, there are trustees are there. Now, if I'm a trustee of a temple, there are many people who give me donation. But is this donation money is mine? No. So can I use it for my own family? No. I have collect the money, and you should use it for the welfare of people only. And that is where this extra 40 rupees, though I might have earned, actually I should use it for the welfare of people, because earth has enough resources only to fulfill the need of everyone, but not the greed. That concept is known as trusteeship. And just for your understanding, somewhere trusteeship is a broader understanding of one's role in the society, and we should use the power, wealth, and resources that we have in a very responsible way. Very responsible way. Sir, PPTs and annotated PPTs are not shown in the dashboard, sir. Okay, so content team might be observing, they will update you. Sir, please suggest a books for ethics. I have been telling, but still I will tell. So one is you attend the class notes, actually attend the classes, go through the class notes, go through my blog. After that, if you want to read, you can read Lexicon, any other book. But once again, if you can read our Byju's material. But still, if you want to read one good book, actually, I will suggest you, because you want to read. If you just type ethics book by D.K. Balaji, you will also get in Flipkart and Amazon, actually, Ethics book by D.K. Balaji. This is also a very good book in a simple language. You may consider going through that. So we discussed Sharira Shrama, physical labor at least 1 hour a day. And Aswada means actually food only to sustain the body. We should not have a fear, because disease, injury, and death, it can happen anytime actually. We should not fear for the disease, injury, or death, because it can happen anytime. Wealth, prestige, and the people whom we love, they may go away from us anytime. We may lose them actually. So, but we should be ready for that. It might happen. So, equal respect for all the religion, and support for local economy, respect for all the living beings. So, this we have discussed. Fine, let's go further. The last concept before we take the break. We'll discuss one more concept and take the break. Are we clear? Yes. Thank you for the participation. Good. Now observe this John Rawls of veil of ignorance. Observe this point. Try to understand what is this, why is telling actually. Okay, now listen to this. See, veil. Veil means actually what? Actually, something that is covering. Normally, something that covers the face is also called as veil. Veil of ignorance. Suppose, imagine we are creating one new society. It is a thought experiment. We need to think like this. Now we are creating a new society that we are creating. Then once in that new society, I don't know whether I'm a postman or I'll become a prime minister. I don't know whether I belong to SC society or the Brahmin society, whether I'll become male or female. When we don't know anything, we usually take a decision which is based on the impartial and objective decision. What is objective? That is something that is based on the facts and evidences. Okay, let us we understand what is objective, then I will come back to this. See, now tell me why this your prelims paper is called objective paper and mains paper is called subjective paper. Prelims paper is called objective and while the mains paper is called subjective. Why is it so? Try other answers. Good. Others. MCQs are there objective. If no MCQ, then it is subjective. The newspaper that you study, is it objective or subjective? The newspapers that you study. The newspapers that you study, are they objective or subjective? Tanai says prelims paper is MCQ in nature and mains is in the pen and paper. Okay. The media, TV channels that you watch, are they subjective or objective? Okay. Now I just wanted to create the curiosity. Now let's we see. Listen to this. The objectivity means it is a concept which says that we need to take the decision based on the facts and evidences. Taking the decision based on the facts and evidences is known as objectivity, while taking the decision based on the personal opinions is known as subjectivity. Okay, so prelims paper is called as the objective paper because they're supposed to ask the question based on the facts and evidences. There is only one answer that is correct. Whether this river passes through this national park or not, there is only one answer and it's a fact whether it is this river is passing or not. Whether these countries crosses through the tropic of Capricorn or not, actually, or these state passes through, these countries passes through, it is a very fact. So there is only one answer that is possible. Subjectivity is a personal opinion. What is there in the new educational policy is an objective question, but do you think that the new education policy can transform the education system in India? That is an opinion. You may agree or you may not agree. So that is why they are called a subjective paper, and ethics is the most subjective, and interview is also a subjective. Questions are asked to know what kind of person you are. Akula's answer is correct. What? Where is Akula? Okay. Mhm. Okay. Yes, there are different interpretations. Now come in. So newspaper that you study is a objective or subjective. Usually the newspapers are objective. They give the facts and evidences. But editorial that you study, the opinion columns that you study, they are subjective. Okay, so you see, they editorial is the opinion of editor. Opinion is the opinion of the author. They are subjective. For example, there was a cricket match series that was held between India and Afghanistan, and these are the scores in that match. That is an objective. But why Afghanistan lost the match, whether it is problem with the captaincy or actually it is a performance of Indians or the issue with the pitch, actually what led to the success of India but not Afghanistan? Or there is an India and Australia final match was held, actually what are the scores and everything is objective. But why India lost the World Cup final? Whether it is because of the captains or the batsmen are responsible, bowlers are responsible, pitch are responsible, that is related to the different opinion, that is subjectivity. Now, so now once again listen to this. Suppose now if we ask the question whether we need to give a reservation to the women in the UPSC civil service examination. Now there is no reservation for women in the civil service examination. If you want to give, though you there is a different answer. Generally as a woman I may think that actually if I think I'm a woman, if I get a reservation for women, it is good because it increases my opportunity. While the male may think that, Are, already we have so much of reservation, sir, we don't want it. Suppose there is a proposal whether the disability reservation has to be increased from 3 to 5%. I am a disabled, I am facing a lot of problems actually, so that is why it should be increased. No, sir, already we have given so many benefits, we can't give so much. A dam has to be constructed. If you construct a dam, it benefits the farmers, causes the tribals. Then we'll analyze, am a tribal or a the farmer. So most of the times as the decision maker, we will think that what is the benefit that belongs to, and what is our talent, what is our state, what is our social status, and then take a decision. That is why we may take a partial decision that is favoring somebody. If you should not do this, I have to ignore, I have to forget to which state, region, caste I belong to. Suppose there is a Kaveri river water dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. The moment I associated I am from Karnataka, the way I look at the problem is differently. Yeah, the way I consider that I am from Tamil Nadu, I look at in a different way. At the time of taking the decision related to the Kaveri river water, I have to ignore, I have to forget. I put a veil to my knowledge that whether I belong to a Karnataka or Tamil Nadu. If I forget that, I can look at the incident as it is. If I'm an umpire again between the IPL match actually where RCB, Royal Challengers Bengaluru, and actually Delhi Capitals are playing, if I belong to the Karnataka, then I look at in a different way. Delhi, I may look at in a different way. That is why the John Rawls of Veil of Ignorance says that if you want to take the right decision as a decision maker, we should imagine that. I know that I am a Karnataka or Tamil Nadu, but I have to ignore that. I need to imagine that I don't know whether I am from Karnataka or Tamil Nadu, the talents, wealth, social status related to the concept. Then you can look at the incident and take the better decision. This is what you are supposed to think. You may get doubts, actually, no problem, but think about it. We'll take a break for 15 minutes and then come back and discuss that. If you have any doubt, also, we'll discuss. So, break time. So, class starts at 8:15 a.m. So, hi friends, welcome to you all for the class of ethics, integrity, and aptitude after the break. We are discussing about the thinkers and philosophers. We are trying to learn what is right and wrong from the thinkers and philosopher. Well, Mahatma Gandhi's talisman talks about the importance of empathy and compassion. We also discussed about seven social sins, a concept associated with Gandhiji, and the 11 principles. In order to take impartial and objective decision, John Rawls suggests that we have to ignore the knowledge about which caste we belong to, which region we belong to as a decision maker. If we are as a decision maker, if we can ignore our position, then we can look at the incidents as it is. If there is a fight between our family and neighbor family, normally we think that our family is right and neighbor family is wrong, that most of the time. But if you want to really know the truth, what exactly happened, why the fight started, who started, for that moment we should forget that actually which is our family. Then, though it is practically difficult, but if you can do that, you can take the right decision. If there is a fight between Indian soldiers and the Pakistan soldiers, normally we listen to the version of what Indian soldiers say. But if you want to really know the truth, actually, if you are a decision maker, you have to forget in the meantime and only then listen and observe, collect facts and evidences for what Indian soldiers say and Pakistan soldiers say. Only then you know the reality. Same if there is a communal fights between Hindus and Muslims. Like if I have to take a decision, first I should forget whether I am a Hindu or Muslim. Thinking that I am Hindu, if I look at the fight, it looks in a different way. Thinking that I am a Muslim, if I look at it, looks in a different way. Yes. So the Max Weber bureaucracy model, a German philosopher, Max Weber says that as a bureaucrat, as a civil servant, what is our duty or how we have to do our duty according to the law of the land. Whenever if I want to give any task to anybody, make sure that that person has expertise in the specific area, only then a task should be given. If we are giving the in charge of use of some 100 crore fund, that person should have expertise, necessary knowledge and skill related to that. Just because some caste, region, religion should not be given a task. If you are giving one task, actually, like somebody to teach geography, polity, or any subject, that person should be expertise in that, giving funds to them or anything. So that person should be expertise in that. And we should have undiluted, bureaucrats should have undiluted attachment with the law of the land. That means you have to give priority to that. Now let us we know the importance of this with the help of one case study. There was one previous year case study. Suppose imagine you are in charge of a social welfare program that gives some benefits to the welfare to the or benefits to the common people. One day there was an old lady. When we say old lady, it means that old age lady. An old lady come to your organization and she says that actually, sir, I've been living in this slum area and there is a proposal that government want to plan to remove the slums also. And I have been living there from last 20 years and I'm the sole breadwinner of my family. There are two disabled people are there. I'm taking care of them. So normally, under the government schemes, you would have given her some benefits like housing and all. You can give, provided she has the documents. But when you ask for a document, sir, I have been living in a slum. I was not worried about any documents. She doesn't have any document to prove that even she is an Indian. And normally now, according to government rules, suppose she has been living from the 2001 or something like that. Just example, she is eligible to get a home. But though she has been living much earlier, but she doesn't have any document to prove that she has been living there from the before 2001. Now she is an in charge. You are an in charge. Now, will you give her benefit? Will you reject the benefit to her, or do you do something else? An old lady come to get benefits. There is a slum demolition project that is happening. According to rule, whoever was living from the year 2001, we will give a house to them, allocate a house. But she says that she has been living much earlier, but she doesn't have any documents. And so that actually literally will in soon actually that will be demolished and she will not get any home. In this situation, what will you do? Okay, Raghav, then others, please. With evidence, we'll give some priority. Good. Okay, think about it. See, others also should participate. Not knowing the answer is not enough, but first what you are thinking and then what you realize, that change in the thought process is very important. We should try to first investigate about her and then we'll provide her the home actually. Demolished according to rules. Later we'll try to get evidence of her evidence. Demolish first and then later we'll get evidence of her residence. Sir, please ask again question. Yes, Vamshika ji, I will ask now and I'll tell the answer also. We'll give her specific time period to make the documents. Until then, the benefit will be provided. So you stay in a temporary home and then we'll remove her from the home. Is it so? Okay, now listen to me. So, what is the question? You are in charge of a social welfare program, and as a part, there is a slum renovation project is happening. Actually, are they're removing the slum and they're coming with some big infrastructure project. But whoever has been living in a slum from before the year 2001 or from the year 2001 till 2024, the government or this project has decided that we'll allocate a home, and you are in charge of that. And there are many people are coming, they show some documents, and whoever is actually there sure that from 2001 they are staying here, you are giving them benefits. One day an old lady come, but she doesn't have any proper document to show, and she says that she is a sole breadwinner. There are two disabled people who are depending on her, and she has been living that area from last 20-30 years. Now what will you do? First thing, we objectivity is very important. We need to collect the facts and evidences. Just because of emotions we should not give. She may not belong to India also, there is a possibilities are there. So that is why we should have a facts and evidences. We'll verify the data and everything. And if we now suppose, if after verifying, if I consider, okay, I know that there are actually poor people, let me create some fake documents and then benefit her. If I think it is wrong, because it is wrong according to Max Weber bureaucracy model, you should have a law, undiluted attachment with the law of the land. You have to follow all rules and regulation properly. So creating fake documents will go against the Max Weber bureaucracy model. Suppose I can say, madam, you do not have documents, so I cannot give. If you have a documents, I would have given. Sorry, I cannot give. Legally, I may be correct because she doesn't have a document, but I am wrong according to which concept? If I ignore her, if I reject her request, it will be a wrong according to which concept? That is also important. So think about it. If I reject benefit to the old lady, it will be a wrong according to which concept? Ethics, conscience, then, then it is against the Mahatma Gandhiji's talisman that we have discussed. That is also correct. So what is talisman actually? Talisman means, think of the poorer, weaker section of the society. This old lady without any documents is actually a weaker section of society. If I reject her, I am not following the empathy and compassion. So that is why this is one of the case study. When you are writing the answer, you have to bring the thinkers. If I create a fake documents, I am violating the Max Weber bureaucracy model. If I ignore her request, I am violating the Gandhiji's talisman. That is why I will verify the facts. I will help her to get documents. If documents are not there, who will give the documents? It is a government institution. There will be some option who do not have the documents will verify and try to get documents. If I am not able to get documents, actually, there are many non-governmental organizations who are working for the welfare of old age people. We may try to help them actually with the help of that. Or any other government schemes are there which can help these people, we can consider. But within my limitation, whatever that is possible will help without violating the law of the land. That is more important. When you are writing those kind of answer, you can use Max Weber bureaucracy model and Gandhiji's talisman. Now, have a look at this Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative. Try to see the first sentence and see is it making any sense to you. What is the meaning of first statement? Read, understand, and then write the statement. Only first statement. We'll come to the second statement later. Let us see. Others also participate. At least 5 people should comment minimum. Then only I will explain. Because participating and then learning is very, very important. See what others are also writing. Many of you are right. Closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So others also can write. So minimum 5 comments. So make sure that next time the first 5 comments can be yours. Okay. Sometimes you need time also. Okay. Let's wait. Okay, now listen. I will tell the simple version, then I will explain to you. Now listen to me. Always act that so that you may also wish the maximum of your action become a universal law. That means that we have to act in such a way that we become role model to others. Now listen to this, understand this, okay? What is this universal law and how to take a decision in such a way that it will become universal law? Now suppose I'm riding two-wheeler and I'm now in a traffic signal, but I'm getting late for the office. Now I have to think, when I'm getting late for office, is it okay to jump the signal? Is it okay to jump the signal? If I want to find the answer, what this Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative says that now I have to think, if all the people in the universe, if all the people in the world actually, whenever they are getting late for something, is it okay if they jump the signal? Normally, when we come outside, there will be hurry for something. If everybody jump the signal, then there is no meaning to the traffic rules and it lead to the many accidents. That is why I should have left home earlier. That I should not violate the traffic signal. Whenever, like, suppose I think that I don't care for actually other people, I don't harm also, I just take care of my life, I don't worry about other people. Now am I right? Actually I should think. Now it's the same formula. If all the people in the world think that actually they just take care of themselves, they don't want to take care of other people, will that be okay? Suppose yes, I take care of myself, I am riding four-wheeler, suppose of some issues, I met with an accident, I am severely bleeding, but all are thinking that I will take care of only myself, then it will not be correct. So there is at least in emergency services, mutual care and concerns are required. So any doubt that you have at any point of time, you will ask this question, you will find an answer according to Immanuel Kant. So then old lady come, in order to benefit her, let me create fake documents. If I create fake documents, help her. whether it is right or wrong. You can bring Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative, which if all the people in the universe, in order to help other people, if they create a fake documents, will that be correct? No. If all people reject weaker section, no, is correct? No. But I can say, I can help her to get documents, and then I will give the benefits. This anybody can follow. So that is why that is called as universal law. When you are in a doubt, you should ask this question: is this act can be followed by everybody in the similar situation? Then you will find the answer. Are we clear? If it is clear, think about the second statement. If it is doubt, I will explain it further. If you have a doubt, actually, you can ask. But now focus on the second statement. Many of you are right for the first explanation. Now you can cross check with this explanation. Understand and then are you sure, Akula? Try. Let it be wrong also, no problem. 5 comments and then I will start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. Good attempts. Good. Good attempts. Now listen to this. Simple version. Make sure that you are writing. We should not treat human beings only as a means to achieve our own ends. We should not treat human beings only as a means to achieve our own ends. Own ends. Write down this, I will explain to you. Now listen to me. If you have written, we should not treat human beings only as a means to achieve our own ends. How both are related, I will explain everything. Now listen to me. What is means and you will understand from a different perspective. You can see that this is a mobile phone. Now focus here only, okay? I am using this mobile phone to get entertainment. I can use it. I can use this mobile phone to get information. We can use it. I can use this mobile phone to get communication. So now I want to get entertainment, and I want entertainment is the end. I am using this as a means. I am using this mobile phone as a means to achieve the end. So through the mobile phone, I am achieving the entertainment. This is called means. This is called end. Means and end. How I'm using this mobile phone? Whenever suppose I'm taking class, I'm not bothered. I'm just throwing it here. I'm not at all using. Suppose next 3 hours I'm free. Actually, after the class, I'm using it continuously. Just for example, okay. Now, when I'm using it for 3 hours continuously, I'm not worried that whether this phone will feel bad because I'm using it continuously for 3 hours. When I'm not using it for 3 hours, I'm not worried whether phone is missing me because I'm not using for 3 hours. This is called using like a slave. Whenever I want, I'm using it. Whenever I don't want, I'm throwing it. This is called using mobile phone only as a means to achieve our end. I'm using this mobile phone only as a means to achieve my end. This we can do with the things. This we can do with the things, but the same thing we should not do with the human beings. I can use this whenever I want. I can almost throw this or keep it aside whenever I don't want. This is called use and throw. This we can do with the things. Same thing we should not do with the human beings. I am making human being, okay, you have to dance for 3 hours. That's a wrong. So we should always act the humanity. We should treat humanity. Humanity means all the human beings. If you go to Google and type humanity meaning, you will get it. Humanity, normally we consider human beings with ethical values. Normally humanity means all human beings collectively. As an end, we have to treat as an end, not merely as a means. Never merely as a means. Only as a means we should not use. What does it mean? Suppose I am asking, just example, Shalu, give me 10,000 rupees. I will give you after 2 days. But now when I'm asking, actually, already I know that after 2 days I cannot give you back. But I'm lying so that I will get the 10,000 rupees from you. What I'm doing, I am using you only as a means to achieve my end, actually. That is wrong. Suppose you are all employees in our organization, we will tell you what job you will do, we'll tell you salary and everything, better working condition will provide. Then you are working is fine, but I'm making you work against your consent. I am using that person only as a means to achieve my end. In sexual harassment, I am using that person only as a means to achieve my end. That should not do. They are end in themselves. They are the inherent value. They have inherent value just because they are human beings. That has to be respected. If we are taking the help from them, we should take the consent to them. We should give appropriate remuneration to them. We are slavery. We are just getting the work done without giving proper remuneration. That's a wrong according to this model. So according to Immanuel Kant, these are the two statements that we have to follow at any time. According to him, actually, we can follow any times, and that he called it as a categorical imperative, something that is to be followed unconditionally. These are very important statements. No matter which kind of question paper will come, we may use some of these concepts that we are discussing. Have you understood? That's good. Suppose give me one more example for the second statement. I told you, like, taking money and telling that after 2 days I'll pay is an example. Sexual harassment is an example. Give me one more example where we are using human being only as a means to achieve our end, and that should not be done. Then you will come to know. Think of any example other than what I've discussed, either for the first or the second statement. Consider for second statement. Asking for vote. See, that sentence is not complete. If I am asking for vote and I want to develop you, then it is not a problem at all. Not become selfish. Human trafficking. Yes, human trafficking is a good example where we are using the human beings only as a means. We are kidnapping them and using them for our own wish, actually. That is wrong according to Immanuel Kant categorical imperative. Illegal occupation. What is that illegal occupation? Adepu? Child labor is an example. Very good, actually. One last example. The corrupt politician just asking for a vote to achieve the goal of election, but is not interested in serving the people. That's a good example. In this way, you need to create examples. Tax evasion, selling drugs, slavery, all these are the example. Coal mining. Coal mining itself is not a problem. By exploiting the workers without giving them adequate compensation, adequate salary, and everything, then we are doing the mining, then it is a problem. Slavery is an example, correct. Let's we go further. Super. Now, have a look at this statement. First, look at these statements. Black slavery, white slavery, 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 and it's a problem. Please go through this. Now, after going through that, listen to me. Just go through it once. Which is the use and throw policy, shallow? Okay, super. Now listen to me. Okay, listen to me. Suppose I am walking in a road. Okay, now imagine I am walking in a road. I saw that there is a building which has caught fire. There is a building which has caught fire. The moment and they are screaming for help, sir, 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 madam, somebody help, 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 or something. The moment I saw that, actually, I decided to help them. I just entered into the building. Later I realized that actually even I am also human being. I will also get fire catches me. Then along with other people, I am also asking for help. Actually, please help, help, help us. Is it right? No. Scene 2. I am walking in a road. I saw that there is a building which has caught fire and people for screaming for the help, and I am standing and watching them. If it is written on their fate that they should survive, somehow they will survive. Otherwise, they will die. I don't care for them. Both are wrong. What I'm supposed to do is, actually, I can call for the fire help, and I can protect myself, and then I can help them. Correct? This is called Aristotle golden mean. This is called as Aristotle. Moral behavior, that is the right decision, is the mean between the two extremes. At one end is excess. I'm just actually entering to them to save them. That is excess. That is wrong. And the other is the deficiency. Both are wrong. That is, I'm not at all helping them. Find a moderate position between those two extremes, and you will be acting morally. Find a moderate decision, that will be correct. This moderate is not exactly in the middle. For example, if I consider that for our country to grow, only economy is important, we'll just focus on the GDP. We don't care for environment. That is wrong. We just care for the environment. We don't care for economy. That is also wrong. We should take care of them both. It doesn't mean that 50% money will spend actually to improve the GDP and 50% focus is on environment. No, it is not 50-50. But there is somewhere between the two extremes, there is a moderate position, and where is that we need to find. As a public servant, if I consider only people is important, I don't care for my family, that is one extreme, that is excess, that is wrong. I'll always think about my family. I don't care for people. That is deficiency. That is also wrong. We need to give appropriate time both for public as well as for personal. But doesn't mean that 12 hours I'll work, 12 hours I will take care of family. No, there is a moderate position between this, and you need to find, and you will acting morally. So the Aristotle's golden mean concept is similar to the what is the concept given by Gautama Buddha, middle path. And the same concept or the similar concept is also given in the doctrine of mean associated with the Chinese philosopher Confucius. So there is a middle path concept. Wherever, in most of the cases, this is applicable in our life. Actually, in most of the cases, the middle path or the golden mean is applicable. Work-life balance. Give me some example other than I have discussed, if possible. I have told almost everything. Now it is a challenge. I give an example of public life, actually, or environment and economy, fire, ambulance, or something. Now try to create one more example than what you've discussed. Challenge. Sir, how far this statement is right in helping the poor through the extreme money, property, education? See, with respect to the poor people, how can we apply? Now, I will donate every money or every resources to the poor people. That is also wrong. I don't care for the poor people. That is also wrong. We will give them better quality education. Government should provide them the health, education, everything, so that they are empowered to earn their money on their own. So that is also called as middle path. Ignoring them is wrong, or providing directly money to them is also a wrong, actually. Facilitating them is correct. Globalization and protectionism, yes, we need to find a middle path. See, Prashik says that we need to find a balance between happiness and sadness. No, there is no need to find a balance. We have to be happy, that's all. Why to? Okay, now suppose I'm very happy. Array, I have not given time to sadness only. Oh no, feel sad. No, no need to give actually. You no need to find the balance between happiness and sadness. Happiness is the goal. If there is a say obstacle will come, we have to see how to overcome the obstacle. But we no need to find a balance between happiness and sadness. That's good. That's why you should tell the answer. Then we'll get clarity. Study and entertainment. Yes, Shaluji, we can find balance here. Globalization, protectionism, correct. Attracting them to school is more important than the extreme money. Yes, making the school as interesting as possible, as activity based as possible. In offline, actually, in our classes, when we take offline classes of ethics, there would have been much more interaction. Now, this online is restricting us. We show many videos, whatever the videos that we suggest, actually, we have collection, show them and all. Normally, in generally, we should make this education itself edutainment. So education should be not just giving information, it should be edutainment as much as possible. Then people automatically will come students and it benefit them. Facilitating for poor sleeping and studying, finding a balance actually. Okay. Okay, so now same applicable to old woman without a documents. I will create fake documents and help her. That is one extreme. I ignore her. That is also extreme. Help her to get a document. That is the middle part. There was one previous year case study which is asked like this. Again, you are going to the interview and you saw that a mother and child met with an accident. Then what will you do? If I say that I don't care for my interview, I will just take care of the mother and child. That is one extreme. Practically, it is not possible. It also shows that you are negligent towards your career. Neglect, that is wrong. I don't care for these two people. I'll go to the interview. Once I clear, I will help other 100 people. I ignore this. That is also problem. I need to find a middle path. I can just call ambulance, tell the exact location and go. One option. Or they are just told that I'm going to an interview, they have not mentioned whether there are any other people around me. I can also write. Usually when we go to the interview, there are some friends or family members associated with me. If any of them are there, I will tell them to take care of these people and then I go to the interview. That is also correct. If we are traveling in a car and immediate ambulance is not available, we can take them actually in our car, and by the time if ambulance comes in the middle, we can transfer or we can go to the nearest hospital, get them admitted, make sure some treatment is given, and we can take evidences that I have attended the interview. Then we can go to the interview also. In interview, a little bit flexibility is allowed with respect to time, but in prelims and mains, no exception. If you go late, it will be almost cancelled. But in the interview, this is possible. So here I am following that middle path actually, or the golden mean between the two extremes. We can call friends, but by the time they come and help, it will be very difficult because we're in the middle of the road. Yeah, we can call ambulance and go. That is correct. Is it equal to the Japanese technique of ikigai? Ikigai has a different interpretation that talks about, if you want to live a happy, what kind of job we have to do, what kind of activities we need to take actually. It is not exactly, but many of ethics are related. Finally, we have to be, at the end, we have to be happy. That's all. Extreme faith in the religion and extreme atheism, actually complete rejection of God. It is subjective, Arvind, actually. So we can, people can be reject the God and they can be ethical actually also. It is subjective. It is not necessary. We need to find a balance. If we don't believe in God, that is fine, but imposing on the people to believe or not believing the God is a problem. Let's go further. Observe this slide for a few seconds, then I will explain to you. Just observe. That means before I explain, you should be curious. That's all. Go through this slide once. Yes, Prashant, you are right. It is always advisable to have somebody, if not for prelims and mains, at least for an interview. Okay, now listen to me. Saint Thomas Aquinas talks about the cardinal, means basic, fundamental. Virtues means good qualities. So that basic values that as a human being we need to have in order to live a peaceful and a prosperous life. According to him, we should have a prudence. What is prudence? Prudence means wisdom. What is wisdom? According to the Saint Thomas Aquinas, we should have ability to judge the appropriate or the right decision. Suppose if I feel that I do not have enough knowledge or experience to take a decision, I can ask for the opinion of expert. Can we ask? Yes, we can ask. But the final decision, sorry, should be ours. Like suppose related to my life, if I'm in 18th place, if I don't know what is the right decision, I can ask for the expert. Like for example, you may ask me, sir, which optional subject I should take. I may talk to you generally, some questions I will ask. Based on that, I may tell, okay, you should take public administration. Suppose for example, for if that is suitable to you. Then suppose if it goes wrong, you should not blame me. Actually, sir, you told public administration, I took. The first of all, there is a problem that you have taken a public administration just because I have taken. I can ask A faculty, B faculty, some toppers, parents, everybody. But final decision, which option subject I have to take, should be mine. Same is applicable to say which career that we choose and most of the decision that we take. But we should know that it is the right decision as much as possible, and we can ask for the opinion of expert. But final decision should be yours. That is known as the wisdom or the prudence. In our life we like to have certainties. Everything should be certain. How I am going to live for in the next 5 years, 10 years, everything we want to be certain. But no matter how much we try for a certainty, our life is full of uncertainty. But many people are not ready to face this uncertainty. They have a dream, I want to get this job. When they don't get this job, they go into a depression. And when I talk about this job, actually, I also feel, see, there are many people who are clearing, that is fine, actually good, they are motivated. We also know some people from last 4 years, 5 years, they are preparing. Sometimes we know that, I see, if I ask you what is inclusive growth, sustainable development, repo rate, reverse repo rate, if you are very new and you don't know, it is fine. But somebody after 4 years of preparation, they say, sir, I have studied all the NCRT, solved all the previous year question paper, everything, and now explain me what is repo rate. If they are not able to explain, and what is inclusive growth, if they are not able to tell, like these some basic terms, that okay, there are other jobs we need to try actually. But still some people go on preparing with a blind belief, if you work hard, we'll clear this examination. No, this examination is not just about working hard. There are many factors are involved. But we should try, and we will know where we stand and where this examination and all. But if we, after the two attempts, actually sincere attempts, giving 100%, preparing well, if we are not able to clear, we solely focusing only on this may not be appropriate. You can continue to prepare while focusing on the option B also. Now that is subjective, but recently talked to a person who has been preparing from last 4 years, but he or she doesn't know what is the basics actually, and that create a that may not be a right method. Okay, we'll come back. We want to have a certainty, but no matter how much certain, actually it is not when the things are not going well. If I say, see, if from law, after preparing for 4 years you don't know this, then if even if you prepare for 6 years, you cannot clear. Suppose even if I felt, I cannot tell that person actually, because they are not ready to receive, they go into a depression or something actually. So people are not ready. But Thomas Aquinas says that we should have a courage. What is courage according to him? Ability or the strength to face uncertainties. Our life is full of uncertainties, so we should be ready to face them. Okay, if not A task, let me try the B task. That is our life is all about. There are 100 ways to be happy. And with respect to food, drink, and sex, we should have a self control. What is right, what is wrong, appropriate or not appropriate, we should know and follow. That is known as temperance. Now, these three things I should follow at individual level. That is ability to take right decision, ready to face uncertainties, and having the self control. When I interact with other people, I should not cause injustice to other people. Intentionally, I should not harm other people. And that is called as a justice. So by following these four values, I also can be happy. I can make other people happy. We can achieve the happiness in the personal life and the success in the professional life, according to the Saint Thomas Aquinas. then they will study for the next 20 years. Now you tell me, for example, after 4 years, when I interact and ask basic question, if they don't answer, is it okay as a teacher if I tell the students that I think you need to search for other, or we should still wrongly motivate them? No, no, you are working the right track. You have to clear, or tell the truth that this is much. What is required for exam is much far whatever. At least after 4 years of preparation, if you don't know, it is the right time you think other option. Should I tell this? So as a student, what's your opinion? Please explain fairness. I will explain. No, but guide in a proper requirement. Second option. His will, then opinion. What is that, Raghav? What is second option? I forgot. We asked like just to know, after preparing reading NCRTs, where going through all the mains paper and everything. Now okay, now without any material, suppose after 4 years of preparation that we are telling, if somebody is not able to tell what is socialism, secularism, and again in some different subjects, some concepts actually, then what should be the suggestion according to you? While thinking about that, one students want to know justice or fairness approach. Fairness, what do we approach? Do you remember in previously we discussed equal should be treated, need, effort, deservedness, everything. Here, the fairness, what it is talking about, when I'm interacting with other people, when we are entering into the relationship with other people or with the people around us, we need to make sure that we are not intentionally harming them. We are not cheating them. We are not manipulating them. That is called as justice or fairness approach. We are intentionally not harming them. That is how we need to do. Tell correctly the path first, or else tell directly, sir. We may, what I told, this is my opinion. Normally, by the 4 years of preparation, this is what you should know. And compared to what is required for UPSC, you are very far away. If this approach, it may take another 3-4 years. Be ready. You may also consider other options actually. That's what I try to say. Okay, let's we come back to the truth. Sorry, the next point. Tell the truth. It is better to know the true instead of living in an imaginary world, or the courage to truth. Proper effort and issue should be identified and resolved in the preparation. Yes, that's also a good suggestion. Prudence. Can you explain the idea of prudence? Now we'll come back to prudence. What is prudence? Saint Thomas Aquinas says that, like for example, he's giving the suggestions to people. Now, what is a suggestion? In your life, you have to take right decision. But what is the right decision? Whatever you've based on your knowledge that you consider as a right and wrong, your experience, whatever you feel, take the right decision. You should not blindly follow anybody. You have to take the appropriate or right decision. But I don't know what is the right decision. Then what he suggests, ask the opinion of expert, whomever you consider as appropriate. If you don't know which optional subject, suppose you fix, now you may talk to the faculty and say, sir, I want to take this, is it okay? They may tell some dimension that you never thought. Okay, that is fine, analyze it. But the final decision of something, whether to go according to that or not. Sorry, there is something moving here. So okay, sorry. um so whether final decision of something is actually you have to take or not should be your own decision. That's what we are written. You can ask for the opinion of expert, but final decision should be on your own. And following this is known as prudence or wisdom. So in this way, friends, you have to learn as many concepts as possible. Those who are interested to know actually more concepts, there is one YouTube channel called School of Life. School of Life. In that, there is so many philosophies are there. Don't try to listen all the philosophies in one day or all the concepts. Whenever you are free, you go through that. And as a 21-year-old civil service aspirant, if any of the thought you feel appropriate, write in a simple language so that you are able to understand. They may explain, they may give complicated words. Know that word also, but understand in a simple word. Only when you understand, you know where to use it. If you do not understand, you do not know where to use it. That is why please go through that. And as we discussed, try to know as simple as possible. Create examples or know the example. Without example, that means that you do not know where to and how to use it. Understand and know the example. Along with these philosophies, try to know some quotes. And where to go? That's very simple. There is a website called Brainy Quotes. In the last time, I recommended you these Brainy Quotes. So, have anybody has visited this website called Brainy Quotes? One is if you type the word conscience, integrity, and everything, you will get that. Or there is also there based on the author's name actually. Like for example, Gautama Buddha, Mahavira, APJ Abdul Kalam. If you select APJ Abdul Kalam, you will get so many quotes related to APJ Abdul Kalam. Same way Mahatma Gandhi ji, Martin Luther King, all there actually. All these quotes are there. You are expected to go through some of the quotes, and whichever you feel right and relevant, you can collect them. For example, one statement from APJ Abdul Kalam taken from this Brainy quotes. If a country is to be corruption free and become a nation of beautiful minds, I strongly feel that there are three key societal members who can make a difference: their father, mother, and teacher. One minute. No need to go for paid subscription, even if it is there also. No need to go for the paid subscription, even if it is there. Just utilize the free subscription that is available. Okay. And it is free access. So this statement can be used in most of the conclusion. For example, in one question that we discussed, the crisis of ethical values in the modern times is traced to the narrow perception of good life. When you are writing the conclusion, if crisis of ethical values, the solution is ethical values. If you want to create a ethical society with beautiful minds, as strong as rightly suggested by APJ Abdul Kalam, there are three key societal members who can make a difference: their father, mother, and teacher. Sorry. You can write like this, so that is why you should know. And again, there are so many quotes are there. We are just giving the example of few quotes. Some people keep on worrying about the past. Array, why I have done this? I should not have done this. I should have taken some other decision. Some people keep on just dreaming about the future. I will do this, that, this, and everything. Gautama Buddha says that do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind in the present moment, because only present is a reality. Whatever is the present, only that is a reality. We should learn from the past. We should plan for the future. It doesn't mean that we should ignore both of them. Okay, we should learn from the past. Whatever happened is happened. We should not worry about the past actually. We should learn from the past. Okay, this is what I've done and this works for me, this will do not work for me. We should also plan for the future. We should not worry for the future. Okay, this is what I want to do, and enjoy the present, because present is the only reality that we have. And if any question on relationship, you may use this statement: health is the greatest gift, contentment is the greatest wealth, faithfulness is the best relationship. There are three things which cannot be long hidden: sun, moon, and the truth. If you remember, we have used this statement. So in this way, know some statement and you will get an opportunity to use it. It's all about all the resources that you are having. If you have resources, you will get an opportunity where to use it. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. These quotes, when you study, discuss with other people. Actually, there are various interpretations. Sometimes just make fun. Now this says the mind is everything. What you think, you become. Now I want to become Aishwarya Rai. Okay. Oh no, I'm still the same. No, we may not become that. So you should not take it as a literally. What it is trying to tell, the power of our thought. Mahatma Gandhi says that. So take care of your thoughts. This is statement of Gautama Buddha. The related statement from Gandhiji is: take care of your thoughts, because your thoughts will become your words. Take care of your words, because your words will become your actions. Take care of your actions, because your actions will become your habits. Take care of your habits, because your habits will become your character. Take care of your character, because your character will become your destiny. Here, destiny refers to future. So now thoughts, it all started. So thoughts will become our future. Same thing is actually explained here. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. If you there, it is there in our tradition also. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. Whatever thing, it will become into a reality. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. And if you ask Swami Vivekananda, he says, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So these are all shows the power of thoughts actually. So in this way, the more and more quotes you know, you will understand. Title is Mahatma. Firstly refers to the Buddha. Maybe. Prashit. Okay, let's be back to this. To enjoy the good health and to bring the true happiness to one's family, to bring the peace to all, one must be disciplined and control his mind. If a man can control his mind, and he can find the way to enlightenment, and all the wisdom and virtue will naturally come. So this is about self control. If you can have a self control, according to Gautama Buddha, all these things will happen. Hatred doesn't ease, or it can be seized the end by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. Sometimes in movies you see that actually, so you killed one person in my family, I do not sleep until I kill another person in your family and all. So that if we go on, like there's a statement that an eye for an eye, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. You have removed one eye and I will remove your eye, and if everybody does like this, the whole world will become blind. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Blood for blood, blood for blood makes the whole world as a graveyard. Again, you have seen the blood in my family member, I will see the blood in your family member. That this everything. నువ్వు మా ఇంట్లో ఒకరిని చంపావు, మీ ఇంట్లో ఒకరిని చంపేంత వరకు నేను నిద్రపోను. The people movie dialogues and everything. So blood for blood makes the whole world as a graveyard. So that is why the solution is love actually, and that is the entirely solution. So like this, there are so many quotes will be there, interesting. Try to read them, understand them, and use it in your daily life. Try to write them, discuss with other people, then it will be a part of your body and mind. Then you can use it in the answer. Are we clear about these quotes? Good. Sir, please tell me where you belong. Why you are so curious, Prashik ji? That will tell in the end. Now, there is a question that is for you, 10 marks question, 150 words. There is a question to you. You have to create the answer. See what can be the introduction, body, and the conclusion. You have 3 minutes. Again, first thing, 1 minute, listen to me. Because now you can see the other comments also. It's a good opportunity. You have 3 minutes. At least take first 2 minutes to first don't listen to the or read the other's answer. Read on your own, try to understand. Some words may not be you are able to understand, but the overall what is that it is making you sense. Read that, and then try to create introduction, body, and conclusion. Then also see others answer how they are thinking and everything. How much ever is possible, type here. Yes, we will discuss after 3 minutes. Please go ahead. Good. So some are posted the answers, but first you complete and then listen to the or look into them. So Himanshu, Shalu, and Prashik have given their opinion or explained their understanding what that quotation meant to them. Good, good. Observe other comments. Others' comments. Good. Last 1 minute. Good attempts, Raj Arvind. Last 30 seconds. Okay, fine. Let us we listen to this. As we said, actually, there's a good attempt by many. You can also read that their answers. What does the following quotation mean to you? This word is very, very important. While most of the question, this is the previous year question. Okay, they want to know how you are understanding. You can give your own example, own explanations, and everything. And you have to read everything and try to understand in simple what it is. If you want to connect with the concept, it is close to utilitarianism, the decision that lead to the maximum happiness to the maximum number of people. The utilitarianism is based on the principle that generally we cannot take the decision that satisfy all the people. Now when you are writing this, actually some students have used the word, actually it's almost impossible to take a decision that is completely good or completely bad. Some of you have written, but that is wrong. There are some decision which can be completely good, completely bad, according to Abraham Lincoln only. See here, there are few things. I'll just take the different color. So there are few things which are wholly evil or wholly good. This is important. So this can be your first statement. Few of them you have observed, actually. So you can start with this. According to the Abraham Lincoln, there are few decisions which we can classify as completely right and completely wrong. So don't use the exact word, similar words, to this is given. But most of the other decisions are a combination of both good and evil. We need to analyze them and take the decision which has more benefits. There will be a plus, there will be a minus in most of the decision, especially related to government policies. And then, so preponderance between them is continuously demanded. Next point, there are two. Overall, I can tell 3 points are there. There are few things which can be called as completely right and completely wrong. But most of them, we need to analyze the plus and minus and take the decision which has more benefits. And the third important point is actually the preponderance, that is, which one to be given a priority, is continually demanded. What does it mean? Whatever we consider as a right and wrong for today, it may not be right tomorrow. Actually, we need to evaluate and take the decision that is appropriate. If you can write this in the introduction, that is good. That is, there are few decisions which can be called completely right, completely wrong. Second, most of the other decision we will evaluate and take the decision which is more advantageous. And third one, this evaluation is a continuous process. This is what you are learning. Now you need to think of example. Now here you can give any example. For example, Aadhaar was made it as a compulsory to transfer the benefits or to get the benefits from the government. That is, what is the advantage of it? Actually, merit of this is what it reduces the corruption. Because earlier there was so many ghost beneficiaries are there. Now because it can give authentication through the finger and all, it reduces the chances of corruption. One positive is there. But one negative is actually this technology is yet to reach to the diverse section of society. Normally, earlier, what has to happen as a poor person, I will stand in a line for a good to get a ration, food grains. I will go there. So I was giving my card and I was getting the food grains. Now it has to be authenticated. Many times server is not working, fingerprints do not recognition, no internet server. They say "Hey, not working, go madam, go or something. And the privacy, sometimes these information can be hacked. Actually, there are experts are there, there's so much of information is there. Actually, it can be misused. Actually, the right to privacy may be affected. In the same way, you based on your knowledge, reservation, there is a positives also, negatives also. For example, we are cutting the trees for infrastructure project. Cutting the trees for infrastructure project. If you know about AF SPA, if say these are all part of your general studies, you might know. If you don't know, don't worry, you will. Armed Forces Special Powers Act, there is advantages, there is a disadvantages. So dam construction, there is advantages, there is a disadvantages. Actually, subsidies, there is advantage, there is a disadvantage. Or freebies, giving few things free to the people, free electricity, free transportation to the women, like that. There is advantages. You try. So write the introduction. In the body of the answer, explain any these two. And then continuous evaluation is required actually to make sure that it has more benefits. Continuous evaluation is required. Continuous evaluation. Now, what is that? If you remember in 1950s, there is a restrictions on the private players. Restrictions on private players, that is private industries. There was a very less role is given to the private players in the development of the country. There was so much of restriction, but towards the 90s we realized that private sector should play a very important role through the liberalization, privatization, globalization. Now private sector has become an integral part of the growth development. More opportunities for them given to them, so that they will come establish, actually take more decision, what to produce, when to produce, how to distribute everything. Now we have given more liberty. That does mean that are we wrong in 1950? No, that was relevant in 1950, but with changes it may not be. In 1960s, we come up with green revolution that has transformed a food deficient country into a food surplus country. That was right, but it also increased inequality in the society. It has created a division between the north and south, poor and rich. Actually, poor become poorer, rich become richer. Now, slowly and gradually, we are moving towards organic farming. But that doesn't mean that actually are we wrong in green revolution? No, we are not wrong, but we have to move. So the decision that we have taken earlier may not be relevant. With changes in the scenario, we should also change. So in this way, as a decision maker, we have to be ethical and flexible and take the decision whatever is relevant according to the present situation. With the changes in the socio-economic condition, our decision also can change in the public interest. This can be your conclusion. Sir, make us a dictator, right? No, same question will not come. It's also about what I'm doing is actually we are understanding the meaning is introduction. With the help of example, we are discussing in the body of the answer. Finally, we are talking about importance of ethical decision making. That's all. Now, any doubts related to this? The government policies are sometimes demand of the majority. That is sometimes good, sometimes actually it feel like a bad based on the majority. But what is the better option, Ganesh? Yes, you are right. This can be an example. There is a good and bad inside everything. Okay. In both the good and evil, choose which is more preferred to you. Not which is more preferred to me, Adepu. We have to choose whatever is good in the interest of people. High yielding variety seeds. Sir, can there be example about any policy which has no evil effects completely? Anybody would like to give that example, any scheme or any policy of the government which has no evil effect completely? We just said that Abraham Lincoln said there is a some of them are wholly good, but as you are asking, let us see, is there is any policy which is completely good? If not, actually, Shweta, completely, we can say 90% good that we can bring. Let me see whether can student find come up with any policy or a scheme which you consider that almost no negative impacts. The question is looking like a comprehension part itself. Yes, Prashik, it is. Use of LPG cylinder. Shalu believes that actually encouraging the LPG cylinder scheme actually and providing it a subsidy, everything has no negative impacts as and outer view it appears as it is. Shweta, do you agree with that? Maternity leave and paternity leave decision is also a completely right according to Chitturi. If somebody has a differences opinion, that also you can tell. MG Naraga is a very good scheme actually, Shivaji. In fact, in theory, everything is fine. The only problem is while implementing is not good, but as a policy, I can say that it's one of the very important decision because it is not only giving employment opportunities, but also it is developing the local infrastructure. From that perspective, I can say as a policy, MG Naraga is very good. Organic farming as a concept is good, but only getting productivity is the problem. And cost of investment is also initially it is it is considered to be a problem. Pure drinking water, save girl child policy, beti bachao beti padhao. So, opening banks in the rural area. Yes, friends. As many of you rightly said, actually, there is because policies are created for the welfare of people only. I think it is difficult to find only evil policy. Do you know any policy or a scheme of government which is completely bad? Yes, these many of you have given the example as a policy which is completely right. But do we have any policy which you call completely wrong? Prohibiting child labor is a good policy. Yes, the implementation is a problem actually. Reservation system, we cannot say it is completely bad. Main difficulty in the ethics is to understand the question. Yes, Ganesh, the vocabulary, as you rightly say, that is a problem actually. In fact, that is a really problem. One advantage is there to the people who have Hindi as a mother tongue. The question is available in Hindi also. For non-Hindi students actually, and English is actually, that is a big problem. Yes, we need to improve the English vocabulary also. Agniveer program, Agnipath actually. Again, see, election commissioner opponent actually. No, they're all definitely subjective. We cannot tell that they're completely wrong. There are plus and minus are there, and there are fewer good are also there. Let's we come back. It is advisable not to give any policy as completely evil. Actually, um, sometimes at least the intention can be good. Now we have few minutes while you take the doubts. Let us we see some. Let us we have some general discussion that can be used. In the Hinduism or in our tradition, there is a concept of purusharthas. Do you know what are purusharthas? Purusharthas. Disguised unemployment. It is not a scheme by government actually. Disguised unemployment is there in agriculture where more people are working than that is required. Marginal productivity is zero. So it is a reality, it is there. And there are some benefits. If some work to be done by one person, if two people are doing, they enjoy, spend their life. If they're happy with the money they are getting, then it is okay. What is Purusharthas? Purushartha means not men is great, Shali. It is not a man who follows the good path also. It is not masculinity. Yes, there are four duties that we have to follow as a human being. Actually, they are called as a purusharthas. They are the dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha, they are considered to be the four purusharthas or the four purpose of human being. If you want to, we are expected to live according to this actually. So that is a traditional belief. Artha means earning the money. Artha is earning the money or the wealth. Actually, this is an important, there is no doubt. We should have a wealth so that we are not worried about everyday routine. Actually, we can focus higher things in our life. Acquiring the wealth is Artha. Kama means fulfilling the desires. Not only the sexual desire, some people would like to have a music, poetry, drama, and everything. Actually, fulfilling desire, that is also important. But the issue is we have to earn the wealth, actually, fulfill our desire by following the right path. That is dharma. If we follow the right path and get the artha and kama, there is no problem. Now we can also say like crisis of ethical values in the modern times. Earlier it is considered that we should follow all the four, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But in the modern times, some people focus on artha and kama, but while neglecting the dharma, that is why there is a crisis of ethical values. If you know, you can also write it. Moksha, coming to moksha. When to get moksha? First tell me. How to get moksha, I will tell you. But when to get moksha? When do we have to get moksha? Normally. So there are four stages in our life actually. So not after death. We cannot get actually, we have to work hard to get moksha when we are alive only. Okay, normally there are four stages in the human life. One is brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa. Earlier, if we consider that 100 years is something that we live, we generally consider the first 25 years is brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means knowing the truth, where we actually give a lot of time to know the truth, understand the world and everything. Then we'll get married, have the family, kids and everything. That is grihastham. Usually, if our son or daughter, usually because patriarchal society, if son come to a stage where he can take care of responsibility, I should not be just involving always family only. If we give, we'll marry, give birth to the next generation. When son come to a stage where he can take the family responsibility and all, then as an individual, I slowly and gradually move towards the I know forest. Normally vanaprastha means towards the forest. It is an intermediary period where we slowly move away from the attachment and family responsibilities and give it to the next generation, and we go to the sannyasa stage. This is one of the important stage where we focus on getting the moksha, though normally throughout our life we have to do, but higher importance. Now the last question, how to get moksha? How to get moksha? How to get moksha? Moksha means salvation. End of desire is called as nirvana. Yes, Prashik. Nirvana means absence of desires. What is moksha? Moksha is considered that actually, according to the tradition, this birth and we will born, die again, reborn, die, and everything is called as samsara. We need to come out of this cycle, and that is why there is something salvation we need to get. Actually, it is considered to be one of the end where we do not born again, or we reach actually Vaikuntha or Kailas or something. Then that is considered to be the moksha, liberation, salvation by getting free from the evils. Okay, now how to get moksha? So there are many paths to get moksha actually. So one is called as the Jnana Marga. Getting as much knowledge as possible. We have learned some knowledge in Brahmacharya. Now, after experiencing Grihastha and Vanaprastha, now the world looks to us in a different way. There we have not practically experienced the life. Now we come outside and observe the society, get as much as knowledge. That is way we'll get actually the moksha one. Then we have a Karma Marga. Here doing the selfless service to the people, the more and more service that we do, and whatever possible, now I have done everything, I have knowledge, experience, everything. With that we are helping the people. That is Karma Marga. Bhakti Marga. Here bhakti means devotion, the love, not only love towards the god but other living beings. Actually we love them, and when we love we try to help them. That is. Then there are so many other margas are there, like Raja Marga. That is through the meditation, yoga and meditation. Raja means controlling the territory. Here Raja Marga means controlling our mind. So now, whether by doing all of this, whether we actually get moksha, that we don't know, but we will live like a good people. The purpose of religion is to be a good. Now when we follow dharma, artha, kama, moksha is good. Follow brahmacharya, grihasashrama, vanaprastha is good actually. Jnana marga, karma marga, bhakti marga, raja marga is good. Whether they are really truth or not, life is not about only living according to science, friends. What is the consequences, and whether happy we are actually or not, all these factors are important. So just to tell you, knowing some concepts like in Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism is also good. They can be very good points in our essay preparation and ethics preparation. So four purpose of human life is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. What is moksha? It's a liberation from the samsara cycle of birth and death. Normally brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas ashramam. The last few years we need to focus on how to get it by following these paths. These are the general difference between vanaprastha and sannyasashrama. Vanaprastha is an intermediary stage between the grihastha and sannyasashrama. In grihastha, I am a completely a person belong to the family, dedicated, doing my duty as a husband and father. One day I woke up and suddenly I cannot go to forest. No. So I cannot focus on the society and everything. Is it towards the forest? Slowly and gradually, I will start transferring responsibility to other people. I develop detachment towards the family and everything. Try to develop discipline once again, and I will decide whether should I focus on Jnana Marga, Karma Marga, Bhakti Marga, Raja Marga, which is more suitable. In this transitionary stage is known as Vanaprastha. Officially, this is the end of class actually, but if you have any doubts, issues, concerns, you can ask. And as I always say, now we have completed the few classes, like 4 modules are over. Now, when we meet tomorrow for the 5th module, please revise whatever we are discussed, and that will help you to understand the next topics. Where is all this written? In the scriptures, we need to return. For there different texts are there. If we refer, and the simple version of this is find here. Jnana Marga means, yes, Jnana means knowledge. Sir, PPTs are not provided, will upload. Which particular scripture, I am not sure, Shweta, but this is generally the concept associated with our tradition. And why do we even to know where it is written? Raja Marga. Normally, Raja Marga means it is a path of sannyas ashrama or moksha by doing the meditation. And why it is called as Raja Marga? Raja means king. As a king, what is my duty? I should control the territory. As a human being, what is our territory is mind actually. we should control our mind, and for that you need to do yoga and meditation. That is called as Rajamarga. Yes, thank you, Anshu. And once again, were you able to focus today? How many hours you are studying for ethics? Actually, you have given the promise early morning. Again, I'm remembering some of you have given the promise me that you will watch some videos related to ethics. Make sure that you watch ethics book by G. Subbarao. Is it enough there? That is more than enough. Actually, you just read it as a reference book. After all these four stages, we may attain the moksha, and moksha, yes, we'll attain it later, but we need to work to get moksha. And what work? That is what? Jnana marga, karma marga, bhakti marga, raja marga, etc. Yes. Anyone last 1 minute? If you have any doubt, we'll take it. Otherwise, yes, thank you, Shalu. Yes, Swetaji. After all these four stages, we'll attain the moksha. To get moksha, we need to work on this. Yes, after all the four stages means by following any one of the path. See, after the brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasashrama, by following all these four stages, if we follow any one of the path like jnana marga, karma marga, bhakti marga, it is believed that we will get moksha, so that there will be a no birth again. Okay, so these are all the class for today. Hope that today's class was beneficial for you. Thank you for your cooperation. Please revise everything and come. And once again, thank you for your cooperation. Thank you, friends.